All right, we're the Banter podcast. First episode of 2018. There was one recorded for January, everybody, but me and Matt messed it up.
Shit got deleted.
We went through 2 whole hours of recording and then looked at it and went,
where's it at?
Where'd it go?
It's not good.
We're starting fresh. We're starting fresh in February.
With a guest in February. Redo. It's a little bit month of love. Hope everybody got their favorite holiday on. That's like the last depressing holiday, isn't it? Like when it comes to like the
suicide chart?
The suicide chart and everything. Like it's after that finally improves.
I thought Christmas was pretty bad.
No, yeah, that's like the beginning of it though, I thought.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe it's Thanksgiving all the way to.
Statistically, I think there's more suisudes in Christmas.
And I don't think people are getting
holiday.
super pissed off about Easter.
And just to kick that off. Alright, so I'm your co-host, Rock Washington, Dylan Fraley.
How's it going?
Matt Lofton.
What's up?
And in studio, the man, the artist.
The legend.
We can go with legend.
Fair enough.
Joey, you have no idea how long this has been in the works. Your name has been tossed around this table.
One of the first ones.
Been tossed around this table.
I think it was the first
50
one.
times.
Well, I'm finally glad we're starting.
Yeah.
So let me catch this straight, Joey. You wake up one morning, you go, you know what I want to do? I want to draw on people, so I'm going to go take a loan out, and I'm just going to get started right the fuck tomorrow. Like, I know exactly how to do all this, and I'm going to do it right
Absolutely not.
No, that's how things work.
Not even close.
But I thought that when you really had a dream in life, that you could just wake up and you would magically find it one day.
Not necessarily. Not in my case.
Well, then educate me.
Stole my word, you bastard.
I don't know. I guess it started whenever I was a kid. I could always draw real well. Never really intended on being a tattoo artist. It just really kind of fell in my hands later in life. I was kind of a knucklehead in high school. Got in some trouble, and went to prison.
The P word.
So that's the ultimate cliche.
Wait, did you start doing
I started
it?
tattooing in prison.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
You're the epitome of that cliche.
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
Absolutely. Never really intended on being a tattoo artist.
Yeah, but some of that work ends up really great.
I know. So if you can start with the bare essential, equipment, and do quality, a needle gun. If you can start with that and do decent tattoos, then you have a real shot at being good at it.
Okay, now how do you actually build the thing?
The needle gun.
I wasn't gonna go that. I figured thing was better.
Well, you'll take a CD player motor.
Okay.
A big pen, a spoon, rubber band, and a headphone jack. Create a battery pack and build your machine.
Okay, so but it's any little motor that does that off balance spinning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
That's really.
So when you say bare essentials,
Now,
literally
in the
mean
big
bare
pen-
Literally bare essential.
Yeah, the big pen's a big blunt object, right?
It is, but you'll take fingernail clippers and clip the nib out of it, the ball.
Okay,
Or
so
the ink
that's
out.
what I was about to.
Yeah, and then take the spring out of a clicker pin, stretch it with a fingernail clippers and a lighter, and then you have a needle.
See, I was about to ask about the needle because I've heard about the guitar. I mean, not guitar strings, but I've heard that one too. But the broom bristles on like steel brooms, I've heard about that before. There was a guy that I used to work with talking about that.
Well,
and
we
you
just educated the world on how to do
right,
it.
but you look at that and you think, God, that is one thick. That'd be one thick ass needle, man. Like if you ever look at a broom bristle, like apparently that's a common thing. You know how much that would hurt?
Maybe it's
That'd be brutal.
Joey's calling it out. He's been there, done that.
Is it bullshit?
I've never heard of it.
Oh, really?
I've seen pick and poke staples, and
Snopes it, man.
weird shit like that.
Well, if you can do it with a staple, you can do it with a damn whatever. Shit.
Now, I'll tell you, if we're going to bring up the word brutal, like anytime I watch those like Polynesian, Southeast Asian.
Oh, the hammer.
The
I want no part of
hammer.
that. I want no part
And
of
You're
that.
not digging that?
And the fact that it's like a way into manhood, right?
Absolutely.
Like if they cry or say that they stop, they don't get to become a man.
Well, they get exiled.
Yeah. Wah. Wah.
I'm out. I want no part of this.
That shit looks rough.
It is.
So you say you always liked to draw as a kid. I mean, was you like the pencil and paper, pen and paper? I mean, what was your medium?
Mostly pencil and paper.
Pencil
When
and
I would get done with classwork, I would pick up a pen and paper or pencil and paper and start
before
drawing.
you were done with class
Most
work?
of the time before I was. And the teachers knew I was pretty good at it, so
Yeah.
they didn't mind me doing it. I was quiet.
I think there's a trick there for teachers, right? Like they have to be able to recognize, okay, he's okay at math and science and all this jazz, but really he's just a creative.
Or do you think instead it was?
Kind of let him.
Or do you think instead it might have been, if I don't let him draw, he's gonna start acting like a little asshole?
More than likely.
I mean, it's a trapeze act, right? I mean, yeah. Or I have tenure. Let me prop up my feet and read my newspaper. I'm not worried about it. So, what would you say that you drew as a kid? What was the type?
Four-wheel drive trucks and helicopters.
America? That's what I drew. I drew America. Matter of fact, sometimes I drew bacon flags.
It's happened before. My uncle, he used to draw all the time, and he would never use a ruler. And every time that I would break out a ruler, he'd say, "You're cheating."
It was cheating. Wow, that's hard.
Straight edge, bro.
Yeah. So he said, if you can't draw it with just pencil and paper, don't draw it.
I mean, I started off tracing whenever I was little.
Oh, and I did
I was
too.
hardcore cheating.
I think everybody kind of started off tracing because you wanted to learn those lines.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of thinking about all the helicopters I attempted throughout my life, and none of them.
I don't know that I ever attempted.
Oh, I attempted them like a motherfucker. So bad I wanted to be like good at drawing, and it never happened. Just be looking at all kinds of weird, like spoon-looking things.
A spoon man?
Yeah. With one arm and weird-ass rails on them.
So, not to delve into it too much, but you find yourself with a needle gun.
Needle gun.
What is the correct term?
For those who don't, for those
Machine.
who don't know, I said needle gun before we started, and he gave me the sideways crazy eye look.
It's been playing too much
So
heavy.
That was a foreign word to me. Now, I've heard gun, tattoo gun, but needle gun never.
Needle
This
gun.
tattoo gun is that
Tattoo gun is kind of a curse word in the tattoo industry for
Is it?
professionals.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Tattoo machine.
Tattoo
if you call
machine.
it a gun, like a gun is a AR-15.
I got you.
Pistol.
Yeah, it's kind of like don't call a weapon or a rifle in the army a gun.
Yeah. They
You
go
don't call
over
an
it.
M16 a gun. You call machine guns.
Right.
But yeah, I get it. So you just wake up one morning, you find the needle machine in your hand, and you're drawing on somebody, right? That's how that worked too.
No.
Oh, damn it! I'm gonna get this eventually. All right, so tell me.
No, so I was locked up in Panama City, Florida, after
That's a great
after
place
one
to
hell of
be.
a spring break trip, senior trip, and I watched a guy tattoo for about 2 weeks. After I'd already received my time, I watched him for about 2 weeks, and I knew that he couldn't draw, but he could trace a picture, and I was like, well, if this guy can do it, and I'm actually fairly artistic, I'm pretty sure I'd be good at it. And was approached by a rather large gentleman that wanted a tattoo done.
At least that's the only thing you wanted done.
So yeah, I was like, oh god, I'm gonna die.
Everybody called him Slim.
Yeah, but he was anything but slim. This dude was a monster. So he approached me about doing the tattoo for him, and I said, I've never done it. And he said, well, I think you can. So, okay. I gave it a shot. I did a basic, block style cross, nothing fancy, and I pulled it off.
Wow.
Was there any moment during that you were like, oh, did you find yourself enjoying that?
I did. Now, we were tattooing in the stall of a bathroom, which is not the best environment.
Perfect.
No.
I would never do that again, but
Sanitation was level 0.
0, absolutely. Staph infection everywhere.
Maybe in the negative.
Yeah. Very poor environment to tattoo in, but it was my starting point, and that's what I did.
Started from the bottom.
And now we're here.
That's the origin comic right there.
Wow. I've always wondered whenever you first held the tattoo machine, like how much different is that than actually drawing?
Oh, it's completely different.
There's a weight difference, right?
Paper's flat, paper's white, paper doesn't move.
and you're sticking in and out of skin.
It doesn't vibrate. A tattoo machine, it vibrates constantly. The skin is never the same. It's never flat. It's completely different.
And that's something I've always wondered about. Does your hand go numb from the vibration? Because I know, like, if I'm just thinking back when I was a kid with the push mower or the weed eater. Like after a while, your hands are just kind of numb.
Right. If you have an unbalanced machine, not a poor quality machine, then yeah, sure.
Okay, yeah.
You're gonna feel some vibrations, but after you get involved in it and you get some custom built machines, the vibrations are low and you really don't even pay it any attention.
Gotcha. Get what you pay for.
Absolutely.
I done learned something today.
Do you envy everyone that starts with high quality machines?
Absolutely, like Whitney. They're starting out with Victor Portugal machines. These are $550 machines. I had an entire eBay kit that was $550. So it's just a completely different ballgame.
And she came from
a
the
CD player and a staple.
CD
Small
player.
little shit.
Yeah, and she's got a Victor Portugal.
She came from the
machine
other end where she was like,
Krakow, Poland.
Yeah, the college student, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she was a college student, 2 degrees, good foundation background in art. She just took it and ran with it.
Different ways to get there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, I think one of the neat things is, right, passion sometimes, what your passion in life's going to be can change, right? I mean, you always liked to draw, but you didn't ever see yourself as a tattoo artist of any kind. You probably didn't even think of yourself in that world.
No.
Yeah. But
I wanted to be a professional fisherman.
Yeah. Which, by the way, I want to talk about your sports sleeves, like your sportsman sleeves, because every time I see one of those, my jaw drops. But your passion was in the vein, and yet just kind of bumbling along, it was like, oh, there it is. Mm-hmm. I think from an early age we always have an idea of what we want to do, right? Oh, and it's not be an astronaut and stuff like that. Although for some megalomaniacs, I'm sure it is. I'm just saying, like, as a kid, you kind of know what you want to do. You just don't know how you want to do it, if you know what I'm saying.
Right.
Now, you are not being a Southern gentleman, you're not the traditional sleeve shop. Because, like, when I see you do these sleeves, these arm length tattoos, and it's like ducks and deer and things like that, like the way that you'll sometimes make the grass move and make this huge flow, that's highly unique. Like, I've not seen that anywhere close to anything. No Instagram photos. No, I haven't seen anything like that.
Right.
I mean, would you say that is you?
That's
is that the cornerstone of you?
For sure. I'm an outdoorsman at heart.
Yeah.
That's what I love. That's my passion. Tattoos and outdoors. So when I'm able to, take my passion and put it into my work, you can tell. Mm-hmm. I enjoy wildlife scenes more than anything.
Yeah, you can tell. Like, there's just this. And like most people, whenever they do sleeves, like they'll fill it in with like tribal movements or something like that to keep the eye of the continuity of flow going. The imaginary lines or whatever you want to call that, art terms, words. But like you have a way of doing it with grass, finding a way to make a deer the central focus, and at the same time there's ducks moving in the background. Like, and not to sound funny, but like it honestly it moves me.
Yeah,
like, it's like, wow. That's legit. That's real. Now, with that being said, you took art classes in high school?
Never. The last art class I took was 5th grade.
Really?
And I kind of regret it.
Really?
Yeah.
So was it just like your high school offered art classes, you just didn't take them?
I never took it. I was always involved in baseball and other stuff.
Right, that was your electives,
right,
shall we say? Yeah. I mean, I'm not sure that you needed it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, everybody, you can use the fundamentals.
Yeah.
That's what you're really picking up during the art class, and I never really did it. I wish I had, looking back, but, I'm here now, so.
Now, do you consider yourself a self-study in any way? Have you ever, like, picked up art books or things like that later on in life to kind of...
Yes, but I use it more as a guideline, I guess.
Yeah.
Kind of reference photos. If you explain something to me, I'll forget it. But if you show me one time, I'll know forever.
The tactile learner.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah. That's I actually remember being taught in school that there were 3 types of learners: those who hear, those who see, and the tactile. And as they were teaching me this, I was like, y'all have never shown anybody anything. Right. There's whole swaths of people in this classroom that you're admitting. And actually, I think that's the argument for male education. That there's a lot of males that are tactile learners. That there's a reason why they sit in class going, nah, I'm just gonna play on my phone or whatever nowadays. Tactile learners are a very important group. So, all right, I think I'm getting the way this works now. So you get out of prison, and you immediately get out of prison in Panama City, drive all the way back to Louisiana, and you walk into a bank and say, look, I just built a needle machine in this bathroom
Making
stall,
all these assumptions, man.
and I want you to give me a business loan right now.
No.
Are you gonna do
They
this
said
until you
no?
fucking get it right?
No. Not that way either.
So walk me through.
So I get out of prison, and I go to work at a golf course in Calhoun. I do that for about 6 months, and I'm like, this sucks. I don't want to do this. I can draw on people and make good money. So I approached my dad and I said, hey, I want to open a tattoo shop.
He was open arms and completely accepting.
Absolutely.
I'm sure he was super
That was
supportive.
My dad was a teacher coach. He doesn't have tattoos. He was a square. He didn't drink. He didn't smoke. He said bikers, sailors, and white trash are the only people that have tattoos.
Oh, that was the old stigma.
And in some ways, of his generation, that's true.
Sure.
Very true.
Not anymore.
When he was a kid looking at tattoos, it was, World War II guys and, those guys that had tattoos from Japan and overseas, and some were quality, but 90% of them, they suck.
Yeah.
So why would that generation want tattoos when that's the example that they see?
Absolutely, I'm with you. Yeah.
Well, my dad grew up with a guy that had neck tattoos, and that means you might get stabbed. Now it just means it's a hipster.
Well, that's where people start now is on the neck, rather than going, full chest, back, arms. They
I
go
don't know.
forehead and neck.
If you have a neck tattoo,
the neck is the one thing I don't think I could ever do.
I'll never have my neck, face, or hands. Everything else, I'm cool.
That's pretty much the.
So you don't
for a long time, it was the Army standard. As long as you didn't have it on your neck, face, or hand.
You don't support the Tyson?
Hey, if you can pull it off, man.
man,
go for it.
Tyson's an exception.
No,
He's got no good friends.
Because when he did that, the cultural reference of when he did that was a shocker for him to come out of prison. Because that was prison tat.
Right.
For him to come out of prison with that on his face, everybody was like, what?
He has lost his
Right,
mind.
but no one's about to tell Mike that.
I'm gonna let your kids hot. I'm gonna let you hot.
See, if I come to Joey and I'm like, Joey, I want this trowel right across the top of my face. I think Joey's a good enough friend to be like, Dylan, you say you want that shit, but I don't think you really want that. And I think Brock would stand up and be like, listen, Dylan, sit down, listen.
Yeah.
I don't think it would go that smoothly.
I would talk about the kids side of our future business.
You're talking about a motherfucker that's got tigers in his kitchen just on the fucking counter. You go, hey, get down.
You need good friends.
You're not about to tell him shit.
You need good friends.
Maybe now.
I don't know. Somebody talked him into that cartoon. Have you watched that cartoon?
Yeah, but it's actually funny.
Yeah. Have you seen this?
I haven't seen it.
Mike Tyson Mysteries.
Has a cartoon that's like a Scooby-Doo.
His best friend's a pigeon.
Yeah, his best friend's a pigeon. One's a gust. Dude.
I'll have to look into this.
Yes, it's on
It's
Adult Swim.
fucking funny.
Like you literally pause and go, wow. And it's Mike Tyson doing his own voice. It's hilarious.
Never seen it.
It's funny.
There's so many ear-biting jokes.
Yes. Oh yeah, and it is nowhere near politically correct. So you approach your father, and he says, not no, but hell no.
He said, how long is this phase going to last?
Like a good father should.
Absolutely,
A good father should say, wait a second, what is this? Because children do that, right? Even when they grow up.
And I said, Dad, I feel like I'm pretty good at this. I think I can take it and run with it. And he said, well, let me think about it. So about 2 weeks later, I came back, said, what's up? And he said, you're going to pay me back every dime. I said, okay, cool. And he gave me a credit card, and he said, you're going to pay the interest, you're going to pay the payments, and I better not have to call you and tell you. He gave me the card. I ordered $7,000 worth of shop equipment, which is bare essentials, and that's where I started.
And you are how old at the time?
I was 23.
23. I'm writing it down and circling it.
It's not like you're doing a driving test.
No.
Everyone's
I-
going. Everyone's wondering. Yeah, everyone's wondering what the fuck you're writing.
I wrote 23 and I circled it. I said it as I said
It was a joke, bro. God damn.
I wrote Matt has a big nose.
You're not wrong. Actually, since I've been staying in Shreveport, I stayed in Diamond Jacks the other day, and the fucking dude wouldn't let me in because it was me on my driver's license whenever I was 16 years old.
Nice.
And he was like, "That's not you. That's not you." And I said, "Dude, I have a receding hairline." I was like, what the fuck do you think? Yeah, like, and even if I got a fake, why would I get an obviously 16-year-old fucking kid?
I am McLovin.
I mean, what? Yeah, basically, like, what?
So So we joked about how quick this process would go through from the time you started tattooing and into actually starting a shop and everything else, but I'm actually surprised at how quick. I mean, you say you came back from Panama, you went straight to your dad.
No, he said 6 months. And can I ask about that 6 months? I'm
Sure.
assuming that's 6 months mostly in the summertime.
It was. Yeah.
Right, it's literally sucking balls
Well,
hot.
well, actually, no. I got out September 26, 2005.
Mhm.
So from October-ish until maybe April, that's when I was working on the golf course.
Yeah, and you said, you summed it up with saying, this sucks. Expound upon that just a little bit for me. Like, what was going on in life? Was it a bunch of nothing that made it suck?
I think he's talking about the golf course.
I think he's talking about the job and kind of a little bit of life in general. But I mean, you tell me.
I don't know. You know, I was ready to do something fun and exciting when I got out of prison. I was locked up in basically a hallway for 3 years, making minimum wage, and it wasn't fun. I've never been the person to do something that's not fun.
And that's why you get a phone case.
Yes, so that's why I have one. It just didn't appeal to me. I knew there was something better in life than mowing grass. And to some people, that might be the thing that they love, but for me, I didn't want to do that.
Maybe forest.
Something better in life. It's keywords.
Think
His
only.
origin story just gets better and better.
Well,
I love
That's
it.
the reason why I'm going through it, man. I think sometimes people don't realize how good their origin stories are. That's something I've found from talking to people on this show, is that sometimes people have lived their life and they haven't yet paused and looked and went, huh, that did kind of work out. Interesting. Yes.
Oh, my wife says that all the time. She's like, you don't realize how blessed and lucky you are.
Yeah.
For everything to go as smooth as what it has.
Lucky,
all it
Lucky
takes-
drives me crazy. I hate
Well,
that.
Yeah.
Well, luck's,
there's
luck
talent.
is talent, opportunity.
I mean, it's a good
all
thing
those things
Little
speak
Slim
together.
came to you in the first place and
Yeah.
drug you in that
Yeah,
manner.
that's right. Little Slim said, hey, bro, pop me up with some sepsis.
But I'm sure you were. I'm sure you spent a lot of your time in prison drawing, though.
I did.
And he
yeah.
saw that.
Mhm.
So luck is whenever opportunity meets. What is it?
Circumstance.
Opportunity meets
Yeah,
preparation.
preparation.
Yeah. So I wouldn't say that was pure luck.
Well, no, but it is, and the fortitude to turn around and go, I'm going to seize what I think is an opportunity. Also, hey, Dad, I want this small loan of $1 million. Sorry.
Damn, I forgot all about that stupid shit.
Small loan, $1 million. No, but and your father to even go, look, you're 23, you want the responsibility? Well, here you go, big boy. Here's the responsibility. Literally, here it is. But you're gonna pay. If I have to say one word to you, I'm gonna polyp you
That's
upside the
your
head.
ass.
Yeah. That sounds a lot like my father.
Mhm.
It's interesting, the Southern man. But so you get the money, you buy the bare essentials. You mentioned earlier the eBay kit, right?
Mhm.
Just straight up, and the miracle of eBay, right? You could buy the made in China, but actually still works stuff.
Yes.
It's got 4 stars. Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
And you get to work, right?
I get to work.
Hands fall off, all tired, bleary-eyed. It instantly was an overnight success, right?
I wouldn't say that either.
I'm gonna get that right eventually. But all right, so you open up a shop where?
Downtown Ruston, which has never been done before.
Right.
I didn't really go about it the normal way. Most people apply for business licenses and.
Wait, was that the same building?
the exact same building?
Okay.
I've been a part of history.
And let's talk about a little bit about Ruston. It's a little snooty.
It's a little snooty, a little conservative.
A little uppity, a little conservative. There's
Little
a little bit of
cliquish.
money rolling around.
It's
in
a
that
conservative
town.
college town.
A
If
conservative-
you've ever heard of that,
If you could ever imagine the words conservative college town.
it's like walking into a Twilight Zone.
Yes, wait a second. This sure is an expensive bike shop. Where's the alcohol? Oh, alcohol's out of town.
Out of town, next town over.
Yes, literally.
Yes.
And you decide to open up a tattoo shop there
Yes.
because there's no other market there, or
Because that was my home.
there you go.
He's not worried about the market.
Well, no.
That was my home. I knew that was my end. I knew if I was going to be successful, I should probably approach the crowd that knew me,
That you understood.
that I understood, right?
Yeah.
And I felt like I brought a different element to the tattoo industry because I was an outdoorsman and I wasn't, your prototypical dark Gothic tattoo artist, and I feel like I could succeed in a conservative market like that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And how would you say you went about promoting yourself?
I hit up every bar and got smashed.
That's right.
Every night.
Self-promotion.
Self-promotion. Hey, what's up? You want a tattoo? How about a shot?
By this time, did you have some tattoos to show them? Did you have a portfolio?
No.
That's pretty good networking, though.
I mean, this is before Instagram or anything like that, really, right? I mean,
Instagram wasn't even thought of.
That's what I'm saying. Like, Facebook was just kind of in 2005.
MySpace.
Yes,
MySpace.
exactly.
I had to create a layout, and profile, and a song, and all that, and it was tatted up.
I like it.
It was awful.
Yeah, your phone's before. I seen you fishing in your pocket. I was like,
This is the exact opposite of what I tell everyone anytime they ask me, because you know people all the time, where do I go to get a tattoo? Where's the best place around? I don't hesitate. Joey Bagwell, University Inc. in Ruston is the most professional place. They don't take you in drunk. They only take appointments. You have to schedule ahead of time. He's usually booked for 3 months. Like, I throw down the spill.
Right.
But here you are in the beginning, drunk, going bar to bar, getting this thing kicked off.
Everyone there's good.
Yeah.
But I mean, everyone's good. Everyone's booked.
Yeah.
Like, no one, as far as I know, no one in there is going to do a walk-in.
I mean, you'll have.
I take that back. I take that back. There was a rose, but it was one of those little, a quarter could cover it kind of things.
Like, real quick.
Yeah, I don't think it even took 5 minutes. I'm pretty sure it took less than that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I called it 5 minutes.
Yeah.
It's funny we're here talking about tattoos because I ran into some guys that I tattooed as soon as I got out, and it wasn't good. I said I was gonna.
Now this is in 2005, though, right?
That was in 2005.
So this is basically the last name is Willis.
Now,
and it is like legit block letters.
It's like the tap out kind of thing going.
No shading needle.
No shading.
Outliner only.
Yeah, and I was going to say, it looks like you were trying to do shading on it of some sort.
Working in Balkanville
Kind
for 7 years.
Kind of hold that up to that camera, they can see it. It's high def.
Working in Balkanville for 7 years, they can see that.
Yeah.
In 7 years, I've seen way worse, though. I'm just saying.
Yeah, this is a man who just got off work off Smith Street here.
Yeah. I can talk about it now. I'm working in Shreveport. I saw all kinds of shit. We can finally start scoot stories.
We will get to those.
Pump the brakes.
Yeah, let's not derail ourselves too much. But so you out there, you're self-promoting, and it's just you. Right? At this point, you can't even afford an assistant if you wanted to.
It was me. I was the assistant, the tattooer, the marketer, the janitor, everything.
The judge, the jury, and the executioner.
Mm-hmm.
Boom. And all the while trying to build your repertoire and technique, right? I mean, what would you say is the curvature of learning at this point? Like, how steep is the learning curve for what you're doing at that point?
Extremely steep.
Sink or swim almost.
Yes, right? It was I was the blind leading the blind.
Mm-hmm.
I was self-taught. I learned in prison. I never had anybody show me technique, so it was basically trial and error. And don't try anything that you're really going to screw up on. Just keep it simple.
Right.
Keep it simple, stupid.
With the portfolio you have now, that's awesome. We all love the story. But back then, whenever people asked how long you had been working and where you learned, was that ever rough looks whenever you were like, yeah, I learned in the prison stall?
Yeah, but I had a confidence about me.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I was like, yeah, I learned in prison.
So when did you start doing the tattoo competitions? I saw the case and stuff in there. And did that actually help bring people in?
Oh, sure.
I'm pretty sure
everybody likes a winner,
Right.
And my first award was a second place. The second place award, and I was so proud of that. I would see all these guys bring home these awards, and I'm like, I want one of those.
I want one of them.
I want one of them.
Hell yeah.
If you ever wondered what Southern pride truly is, he just actually stumbled around saying it.
100% relate to that one.
I can get one of them. Right there, I can get one of them.
I'm a winner.
I'm a winner.
Give you medals for choking people?
I've been winning ever since the first grade football. All right, they hand me the ball, I just take it right down the pipe. I'm a winner. You hear me?
The second point, stay off truck.
Yes.
So how the hell do they actually score? Like, is there a structure, or is it just that one looks?
Categories.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you took one of our good friends, Larry Million, or was supposed to. Did I miss that?
I think he. I don't think he was able to show up.
Okay. Yeah, that's a guy who is in love with your tattooing.
I love Larry.
Larry's a good guy.
Good dude. He sits there. He doesn't move. He doesn't shake.
Yeah.
He just takes it.
He's working in Rusty now, by the
Is
name. Yep. Just I'm announcing your life for you, Larry. But
I will see you soon.
Yeah. he got the job in Rusty.
That's great.
Yep. So you'll probably see more of him now again. But yeah. So one thing to stumble upon is you had the confidence. Would you say that you were born with that confidence? Selling yourself to other people? Was there any stumbling blocks along the way, or did you just kind of like, I'm going to sell myself and by God they're buying?
That was my only choice.
I like it.
Isn't that how a lot of those go though? They just like, whenever someone takes a risk and that's it, there's no other way.
Right.
And it's just got to work.
Rock in a hard place, push the rock.
Right. This shit's just got to work.
Eventually it'll move.
Yeah, I never
Right.
thought about failure.
Right.
That was never an option. You know, it was either I can cut grass or I can do something that I love.
And fuck cutting grass.
Fuck cutting grass. It gets real hot.
Hot as fuck, motherfucker.
Yeah, I cut grass
Is that
for 10 years.
is that why you pay your dad now?
Absolutely. And he takes the money too.
Yeah, that's right. So, you get this initial loan. How long would you say it took you to pay that off? Do you
11
remember?
months.
11 months. Dedicated.
Dedicated. I didn't want to hear any shit from him.
Almost every penny went to it, I'm assuming. Every spare penny, it sounds like.
My goal was to keep $100 in my pocket and pay the bills. Past that, I paid him off.
That's a good plan. $100 emergency fund.
Yeah, that was my goal, and I was happy.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have anything in prison.
And I mean, you're still young at this point, right? I mean, you're not even 25, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you got the shop. You're constantly learning, constantly getting in customers. I mean, you're doing everything you can,
Mm-hmm.
right? Now, let's hit the fast forward button just a little bit. And was there ever a day where you went, "Huh, I made it"? Any moment that you could give me?
There's not, one particular moment that really stands out.
Mm-hmm.
When I got the second place trophy, my first trophy, that's when I was like, okay, I'm doing this the right
That
way.
may have been the answer. Yeah, that I could imagine.
Something to show you're legit.
Mm-hmm. And it was a second place, so that drove me even more.
Yeah, that here are these guys that's been doing it for years. You walk in and kabow.
Yeah.
You got it. I understand that emotion.
And it's still probably my most prized trophy. I've got first place down the line, but the second place was good.
Because you didn't know everything, right? You weren't even learned about the competition yet, like
Right.
you probably are now about the.
So are all of those in that case yours? Like, is that just Joey's case?
Yeah, that's just mine.
Okay.
That's his. That's his. I love me wall. Look at my love.
Pay that.
I like Mr. Son of Peach. Okay. I like that. Dylan, you've been quiet. You're the man who
I'm
guesses
listening.
every.
I'm listening.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You mentioned Larry Million earlier. That's actually why I came to you in the first place.
It is.
And he's why I came over to your shop.
So.
It all trickles down. We've all seen your
Thanks,
work.
Larry.
Shout out to you.
Appreciate it.
Well, I mean, you know how he is. He's a passionate guy. Right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, so like whenever he sells you something, he sells it.
Mm-hmm.
His work sells itself. Like
Yeah. Well, yeah. Then
sleeve
Larry
and
takes
back.
off his shirt and is like, "Look."
That biomechanical sleeve is one of the most badass, and I've seen all different types of it. I've seen so many people try to make that work, but Larry's just phenomenal.
Larry's a good customer.
He has a vision, but he lets you have the fun.
Oh yeah, he lets me take it and run with it.
That was the big thing that I speak in so much confidence when it comes to you is I came to you with an idea.
Right.
I said I want this, and this, but I don't have a clue. And you said, all right, hang on, give me 45 minutes, go get something to eat. You traced my shoulder and you just went to town. You
Right.
went in that back room, you zoned in, and then you said, hey, this is what I think we're doing.
Right.
And you ran with it.
You asked me, how I promoted myself.
Mhm.
I think one of the best things about how I approach tattooing is taking people's idea and turning it into something cool.
Mm-hmm.
So I really don't have to sell anything to you. If I can show you, I'm like, hey, it's your idea. Here it is. It sells itself, really.
Now that seems to me a skill that no one along the way could teach you.
I think that was a God-given thing.
You can take someone else's idea of a vision and make it a vision.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what people come to you with, right?
Mm-hmm.
An idea of a vision. I mean, there are probably some people that are like, I want this.
Yes, Pinterest tattoo.
Yeah, I was about to say that the Pinterest. I was right about to say the Pinterest tattooers.
I want to look just like this.
Pinterest.
I want something different, but I want to look just like this.
Yeah. Oh, I got this most unique idea. 300,000 pins. This is the one I want.
Yes.
No, bro.
What do you think?
The dream catcher.
Yeah. Well, that's been going on since the 80s.
I know. I'm just tired of seeing the damn dream catcher. If any of you are thinking, if you're thinking about a dream catcher, infinity sign, or a fucking feather stop,
Yeah.
or the anchor I'll never sink.
You're not Elizabeth Warren. Let me stay out of politics.
I feel like there's some
Get out of
good
this.
stories brewing up right now. I want to hear all your no's. Have you ever looked at someone and been like,
Anything satanic. Yes, I had a girl come in last week, and she said something about getting the letter 666, and I was like, we don't do that here, and you gotta go.
not just give me something else, but
Not today, Satan.
Get out.
that $7,000 loan is paid off, so you can leave.
Like, I want no part of that.
Yeah. So you try to stay away from the dark religious stuff, especially the satanic stuff. No Mr. Mojo Rising.
No Reagan from The Exorcist, nothing weird like that.
Yeah.
You don't do it. Well, you do Halloween.
I'll do something like that. I'll do skulls. I'll do crazy stuff, but if it is a direct tie to Satan,
Yeah.
I want no part.
It's respectable.
It's understandable.
Don't want to open up demons in the show.
I don't want to be judged for that later on.
Don't want a description and all of a sudden coming out of the skin.
Yeah, because I'm scared anyway.
Well,
I don't
Joey,
need-
from what we see, your life looks great. Well, there was this one time. Did you do that tattoo by choice? Shit.
So
I got told a great story whenever I was getting mine done about one of your tattoo artists was doing a tattoo with this guy came in and was getting this chick's name like in a cross and everything, and halfway through the tattoo he said, yeah, she doesn't even know I'm getting this done. And your tattoo artist was like, wait, what? Yeah. And we haven't even met yet. And she was like, oh my god.
That's scary.
Yeah. And then she was talking about how she was just terrified.
Who did this? Who did the tattoo?
Am I gonna get in trouble?
No.
Whitney. She was talking about how she was just like scared shitless because she thought that it was just like this dude, like, they'd been together for a little bit, and then after that, like,
He'd never met this girl?
no.
like an online
She had told me,
dating thing?
I don't know. I didn't want to ask anymore
We gotta
because
pull this story out of her now.
Call Whitney.
call her.
Yeah, I've never heard that.
That was scary.
I bet.
I mean, why I asked what her craziest tattoo story was, and she told me that, and I was like, what?
Do you
That's not very crazy.
do you pull back whenever people ask for names or initials of not kids or?
That's not very crazy.
No.
What's a crazy one? That one was pretty bad to me.
I'll tell you.
Tell me.
I don't know if it can be said on air.
Oh, it can.
Okay.
We are rated explicit.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
You can say whatever the fuck you want.
All right. What did you say? What was your question, Dylan? Do you remember?
Names. Are you reluctant to put names on people? Because I cannot stand seeing that.
I'll ask him twice. I'm like, are you sure?
Oh, you give him a way out.
Are you sure? Yes.
That's
So
your
now,
question rule. Ask it twice.
That's perfect.
If you confirm it the second time, I'll take your money.
Now,
Wait.
are you less reluctant? Oh yeah.
What's the craziest?
Oh, there's multiple. Let's see.
You-
What's your personal favorite?
Craziest. Okay, so I get a call from my secretary, and they're like, "You've got a guy that wants to speak with you about a half sleeve." I'm like, "Okay, cool. I'll be there in about 10 or 15 minutes." So I get to the shop, and the guy's sitting on the couch. I go behind the counter, and he said, "Hey man, what's going on?" I was like, "Nothing much. I hear you're interested in a tattoo." He said, "Yeah, I got a few pictures I want you to look at." And I was like, "All right, cool." So he opens the envelope up, and it's probably 100 pictures of his wife, butt naked, playing with her vagina. And I'm like, "Okay, that's cool. So what do you want to do?" He's like, "I want her." He's like, "It's my ex-wife, by the way." And I was like, "Oh, okay, great, whatever."
It's a little less awkward now.
Yeah, it's awkward. So he said, I want her laying butt naked, legs spread, playing with herself, and I've got 13,000 on her chest, and I'm gonna need to get all that. And I'm like, you lost me. What do you mean? He said, well, I paid for 2 boob jobs, and I want you to make sure that you get the breast right. And I'm like, well, how do you depict, $13,000 worth of boob job? And he said, don't they have scars? And I was like, yeah. He's like, well, put the scars on there. I was like, you serious? He's like, yeah. I said, okay, that's cool. So set the appointment up, do the tattoo. Like 4 or 5 hours later, we get done. He's like, it's fucking awesome. Worked out great, I guess. Come to find out it was his ex-wife, and I was like, so, what makes you want to get this? And he was like, well, she's running off with another man right now, but we're still fucking. So I was like, what are you going to say to your kids about this? And he's like, I really hadn't thought about that much. And then about that time I looked at his other arm, and it looked like a tribal vagina. And I was like, man, pretty familiar with tattoos, but that looks like a vagina. And he was like, it is. He said, I took a picture of my wife's snatch when I was working on a pipeline in South Dakota, and showed it to my tattoo artist, and he turned it into a tribal version. And it looked like a tribal vagina.
Dear God. At any point did you...
Y'all look confused. All of y'all are just like, holy shit.
No, listen, look. So I'm a big philosophy guy, and philosophy unfortunately spills over into psychology all the time.
I'm sorry, I don't usually stop you, but was there any moment where you went, fuck this, getting the tattoo? Was there any moment where you were just like, nah?
No.
Or even before that?
No, because I've never done a butt naked.
Yeah,
so you would just okay. I did.
It's like I know it.
Yeah, he saw an adventure.
I just wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if there was any what. Okay, fine.
But this guy's vag obsessed.
Oh yeah, he's sick.
He's obsessed. It's one thing to love sex with your wife, but you love sex with your wife. You don't have an obsession over her vagina, right? Mm-hmm. You don't. I mean, honestly, how often do you honestly look at it even?
Yeah, I like sex. I don't have a pussy on my forehead.
Right, and you don't think about the pussy.
No.
You just think about the act.
The act of, yeah.
Right. He's legit vag obsessed. He's
sick with it.
At any point, did you ever think he was gonna stab you?
No.
Did he give off that kind of vibe?
No, he didn't give off I don't know. He's a creep.
Tattoo was with little Slim in the bathroom. He's good.
In the bathtub.
How was that bathtub?
Joey's not scared of shit.
Yeah, Joey's got the knife in his back pocket at all times. Now, have you had the crazy guy yet? Have you had the legit guy that you're like, oh, he's a little unhinged?
Oh yeah, several times.
Yeah.
You do the job and escort them out the door.
That's the ones you don't talk to a lot?
That's the ones I have no communication outside of my shop with.
Yeah. Now, see, the cool thing is, right, you get to be a therapist a little bit, right? Because you get to hear...
I hear the dirt.
You hear the dirt, right? Because there's something about when people are under not a lot of pain, but just a little bit of pain for a long period of time, there's something in the brain they just seem to start spilling. This is true during long military operations, even if it's just out in the field for a week. For some reason, when people are under a little bit of pressure for a while, they just start spilling their soul. It's always all right, here we go. Yeah, well, okay, so tell me more about that. But so, did you find yourself honing that skill, listening?
Sure.
Truly listening to people, because you kind of have to, right?
You have to.
2 things at once. You're actively listening at the same time, actively participating in creating their vision.
Right. Well, it makes them more comfortable anyway.
Yeah.
Normal human interaction is you're gonna look at somebody and you might shake their hand, and then it progresses from there. Whereas when you walk into my studio, you're a stranger. You sit in a chair that's right next to me. I'll begin touching you almost immediately.
For 7 hours.
For 7 hours, we're going to form some type of relationship, whether it's good or bad.
Yeah. Fair skin touching too.
Fair skin.
That's it.
Yeah.
You don't want it to be a bad one though.
Yeah. You don't want to be a creep, so just be cool.
This is interesting.
I wonder if there's people that could be very successful tattoo artists that don't have the people skills.
I'm sure.
There's some I I've seen it in magazines and stuff. There's like tattoo artists that like don't talk to you.
Now, that would be a
Like
miserable
they choose
experience.
the tattoo that you get. And not, there's some wacky ones out there, man.
Mm-hmm.
There's some legit wacky ones. Now, who did your tattoos? When did you start getting tattoos? When did you say, I like tattoos?
Well, it's a good story. I forged my birth certificate when I was 17 because I went into a tattoo shop and said I wanted this tattoo, and he said, well, do you have a ID or license? So I lied, and I was like, no, the cops took it when I got a DWI, and they were like, well, they should have given you some type of identification. I said, well, they didn't. And I said, well, what other type of ID can I use? And they said, do you have a copy of your birth certificate? And I was like, a copy? Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. Copy?
So I made a copy, cut numbers out, recopied it, and brought them the copy of the copy.
The miracle of invisible Scotch tape, ladies and gentlemen.
Brought it to them, and they had no issue. They tattooed me.
Because all they're going to do is stick it, copy in their file drawer.
That's it. That's all they care about.
You know.
So if they get
And what was that first tattoo? I'm sorry.
It's fine.
It was a sun with a Chinese symbol on the middle of my back, which I instantly regretted.
What was the Chinese symbol?
It said courage. Super gay.
That's really good.
It really is.
In the land of gay land. It was the mind of it.
In the sun.
Yes. It was a late '90s tattoo.
Mm-hmm. Yes. The late '90s Chinese character.
Would you
tattoos.
say that courage pulled you through your experience with Will Slim?
I wouldn't say that tattoo helped that for sure.
So, did you ever find yourself fascinated by people who have tattoos?
I did. I always thought, it was not the norm, especially in Ruston where I grew up.
Absolutely not.
No, I didn't think that they were good people or bad people. I just knew that they were a little bit different than the average person that I was running into every day as a kid. So I liked it. My dad worked at a little convenience store, and they had a tattoo magazine, and I would go in there and check it out, and kind of flip through it, and kind of left it at that.
Mm-hmm.
What you brought up earlier about the outdoorsman sleeves and how different that is. I wonder how much of that is because of you being in the conservative area like Ruston and bringing ink into the normal everyday life where people start mixing in their passions.
Have you ever seen anyone else try and do a largemouth bass?
Never.
If you ever see anyone else try, you'll see one.
It's as bad as the tigers that you see.
Oh,
what is it with people fucking up tigers? You know,
lions, man.
It's like lions and tigers, and
It's easily fucked up.
well, I mean, there's a super amount of detail.
Right.
That's what makes a lion's face so fascinating, especially the mane and all that. Like, there's so much going on. Everything comes to that same point of a cat's face, but people fuck it up. Not just sort of, kind of.
Well, people, they get ahead of themselves rather than, focusing on quality lines and solid shading. They're like, I'm going to do this tiger, and I can't write my name. And then that's when they shit the bed, and that's when you see the tigers that you see.
Whenever I see someone do a bass, it's always like the tail and stuff always looks great until they get to the head, and like even the eyes are okay. Then it's a fucking mouth.
Well, it's because they have never actually probably seen a bass.
Mm-mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, legitimately
To them, it
held
looks like a
one
good
and-
bass.
Yeah. So they've not legitimately held one and went, this is an odd looking critter.
Mhm.
Because of a bass in particular is even more odd looking. It's
Yeah,
got
their
the
mouths-
developed mouth.
Well, their
and
mouths
the-
open up like aliens or some
Yeah,
shit.
it
They're
does.
weird.
It opens and then it opens.
Freaking weird.
Also that they can suck in. Because
Yeah.
they're like the legit suckers of the freshwater world. I made the table rattle. Not bad. Dang.
You bastard.
So it's not about how many tigers you fuck up before you get one right. It's about waiting to do a tiger until you have the skill set to properly do it, right?
Yes, but at the same time, you can't.
You gotta jump at some point, right?
Yeah, you've got. You can't just stick with the basics. You've got to.
But that's where free drawing comes into play, right?
Mhm.
Do you still practice free drawing,
Mhm.
or do you only do it whenever you're creating?
It's hard for me to draw blind.
Yeah.
I've got to have some type of motivation. If you'll tell me draw this, I'm motivated. Cool. I have an idea, but to just draw, I really don't have time for it.
Yeah. Was there a time when you were trying to shop or anything like that? I'm just asking for like a skill development.
Right. Not really, man.
No.
Not really.
He's just a talented mug.
No, I don't mean it like that.
No.
You are because there's
You
people
are.
that could, like me, I could draw all my life and not be able to draw even a fucking cross without the sides being wrong lengths or some shit like that.
There is such a thing as like you said God-given talent.
There is raw talent.
God-given propensities. Like you kind of have
definition for propensity.
See, this is the life of living with Brock. I've
Would
been
you like
going through this
Merriam-Webster? We do this every
6
time on the show,
years.
so we can do this.
I mean, Odell, I'm not about to run like Odell Beckham.
No matter what you do.
Yeah, it's just a fucking limit.
We'll go to Merriam-Webster for it.
I apologize for it.
Why is that one your particular favorite?
Because it's the American one.
Okay, fuck.
The problem is that
I'm
some of the
sorry.
other ones have this British
And they put the U in color and it pisses you off.
and honor. Just no win.
You can see where fucking mad he's right.
So, when did you find yourself? I mean, you say that you started small, right? And you did things that was in your skill limit.
Mm-hmm.
When did you find yourself doing sleeves? How long before you were doing the sleeves, the backs, and these big
Well, I guess the first
multi-hour projects?
I guess the first big project I ever did before I did a sleeve was a full back piece for a guy named Shane Hodges from Farmerville. He came in, he wanted a full dragon and a skull on his back. Well, that's a larger scale than anything I'd ever done before. And I had this poster of this dragon and this skull. And got you. I had this poster, and I used it as a reference. And it was, the layout was bigger than any single piece of paper I had, so I had to freehand it, I had to draw it on it. So I stuck the poster, past him so I could see it, and then I took a red pen and then started drawing. And it took me about 2.5 hours to draw it, and that was the first big tattoo I'd ever done. It took me 16 hours. I don't think I necessarily had the best needle grouping and all that, but it turned out good. It turned out solid. It's not my greatest, but it was the start of the bigger project.
And do you enjoy the bigger projects?
Mm-hmm, for sure.
Yeah.
I like the instant gratification of the smaller ones.
Yeah.
But the gratification is better 5 sessions down the road once you've made good money, you've paid all your bills, and you get to see this multi-session project come to a finish point.
The run up the mountain is better than the run up the hill.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, always. That's
Now,
true for a lot of things.
Which of those on your arm were done by yourself, or were any
Oh,
of them?
none.
None?
These were all done in prison.
You haven't tattooed yourself?
I have.
You have?
Uh-huh.
Where at? Leg?
Yeah, my leg.
In the
I've
leg?
actually touched this up before. Mostly leg.
Mostly leg.
Yeah.
I mean, it's easier canvas.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know that I could ever picture myself tattooing myself. Like, I try to visualize myself doing something. Like we had a guy, Brandon Mikesell, a wingsuiter, one of the squirrel suit guys.
Mm-hmm.
I always thought I could envision myself doing that, but then he talked about the fact that 90% of your day is actually spent hiking up a mountain and then jumping for 7 minutes, and then all of a sudden it was like,
You thought about that? Fuck no.
yeah, man.
There's nothing that makes me want to just go screaming by the
One thing about
ground.
myself, I love the adrenaline.
That's fine. I like adrenaline too, but fuck that.
A lot of people don't think I do because I kind of have this flat face. Even
That's
Dylan's
just
talked
flat
about it.
face.
Well, that's
Yeah.
true. But Dylan's talked about it before. He's like, competition, you don't have a lot of expression on your face. Meanwhile, Dylan's, mean mugging, like flipping people off in the middle of a fight.
That was
That's pretty
never
cool.
change.
Never
in their
change.
head.
Were you there that last one, Joey?
I wasn't, man.
No.
Yeah, that was a tough
Never
fight.
change.
It was a tough fight. It was a good fight. Good man to fight. But I love the adrenaline. I love it.
Off topic, Jeff's got a fight booked already now, doesn't he?
No, he doesn't. He's actually supposed to be fighting on this next AKA fight, but
I thought
he's
he-
not on the card. He's actually going to train with Team Alpha, man.
I saw that.
Oh, okay.
But,
Hey,
paying for his board and stuff and going out there.
You
So,
gotta admit you're a little jealous.
Not jealous.
Not jealous, but like you kind of, I don't know. I know you jiu-jitsu and all that, and that's that you want to be a specialist, but come on, getting to get that level.
We'll save that conversation.
Okay.
I'm really excited to see him back though. I think he'll be fighting in our. He'll probably be fighting in the May card here in West Monroe.
There will be another May card in West Monroe. By the way, the posters are out for that.
FFC
I've seen
2.
that.
Everybody
FFC.
get ready. Tables, tickets. It's gonna be
AKA
great.
is not my favorite.
No.
No.
By the way, he read propensity off, but I'm gonna read it for everybody. An often intense natural inclination or preference, and that's why I like that word better, because it's like you kind of have those skills, you just have this also a pull toward them. Like there was always a pull, right, to drawing. You understand human interaction almost naturally. From the way you describe it, you kind of have this intuitive understanding of human interaction, ways to make them feel comfortable. A lot of people don't have that. How many awkward motherfuckers have you met in your life? You start talking to them and they're just awkward people.
No, there's a lot of awkward people for sure. Just try not to make it awkward. Just make it an easy conversation. Everything goes smooth.
See, he has that natural.
Yeah, look.
He's probably never read How to Influence People and Make Friends like Dale Carnegie.
Dale Carnegie?
Stuff, right?
Ooh, that's.
But
I bet
but
you
his
do.
words naturally mirrored. I'm just saying you have a natural sort of let me glide into this environment, let me talk.
Diffuse.
Most people it takes an
situation.
hour to get as comfortable as you were in 10 minutes.
Really?
Absolutely.
The first 10 minutes, I was pretty nervous.
Yeah, but I felt it. I mean, but there's a reason why I ask the questions off big, huge assumptions. That way you can draw an easy stance. No, that's not.
You're wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool.
You get to
Now I
draw
see your
yourself
approach.
inside the box. Yeah. I'm honest about it.
Yeah.
I also like to get them hopped up on energy drinks, but you didn't want one.
I'll take one.
I'll get you a fucking monster right now.
Take the
It's
headphones
never
off.
too late.
Okay.
It's never too late.
He got up so fast I thought he was about to jerk the table with him. Jesus. That was
Which
a
kind
hot
you
one.
want?
You fucking animal.
Surprising. I don't care.
Try those.
I mean, those taste alike to me though.
Huh?
Those taste alike.
I like.
Yeah, those two
Not
taste
me,
alike
no.
to me.
I'm a connoisseur of the zeros.
So here's my kombucha.
By the way, how gay is that kombucha?
I love it.
It's,
I've been drinking these for
your
about
body
4
is
months.
not going to absorb those probiotics any better because it had alcohol in it at any point. That's not how it works.
Are you sure?
Yes, just quit swallowing that Eastern medicine bukkake.
Wait, I'm not even gonna ask.
When I drink these, I feel better.
You feel like you just went through bukkake?
No, I
Some
feel
Eastern
like,
bukkake?
I feel like the 4 billion probiotics they're in here are now inside my gut, and they're all like.
That hydrochloric acid hit and went.
I don't believe it.
Okay.
don't believe
Look, I've
it.
already told you about gummies. I've already had that conversation with you and Jesse.
Well, you do the probiotic gummies.
The best way to get it right now, the best delivery system is either up your butt or to do it in some
Which is
form
off limits.
Yeah.
Which is off limits. I'm out of prison with no tampering, so we're not gonna start now.
So you're saying the 2 best ways? Wait, you mean the 1 best way?
Yes,
Which is-
exactly. You do it in some form of something that's harder for the gut, the stomach, to digest and break down, so that it gets to the small intestine before it starts getting treated.
So everyone needs to eat soured milk.
I do.
Whoa, you mean yogurt, which has been around for how?
It's so hard to find yogurt that's not pumped full of sugar, though.
I understand, but the
Even
world is getting better at
Chobani, even
it.
Chobani is so bad for you.
Actually, fat's bad for you and sugars.
You shut
Get out.
that you shut that 1950s propaganda down. Oh, goodness.
I take capsule probiotics too, but you're saying that would get.
Some of those are better because they're designed to not break down. But I don't know, you have to do research on each individual one. But some are not designed to break down in the stomach
Yeah.
to actually.
Well, I mean, he's already getting enough probiotics with this.
4 billion in all 3,999,000,000
Hey,
die
if 20 make it, that's 20 more for a healthy gut.
for a healthy guy.
Or you could just.
Apparently,
You don't do much for your health, right?
Mm.
Do you even
Little
take a little multivitamin here or there?
I'll eat some gummies.
I like some gummies.
That's right.
Hand them to the kids and eat them yourself. That's what I do too.
You ever bought one of those vitamin packs, like from GNC?
Yeah,
And
probably
then
when I
you
was
just,
your age.
yeah, and then, well, this was a couple of years ago for
Yeah.
me, and I just started pissing like highlighter green.
Yeah, because it's literally saturating.
Like my piss, like,
1,000% over. For
like,
everything.
yeah, but my piss like glowed in the dark.
Yeah, there's
it was
a whole
actually
Steve
incredible.
Wright joke about that.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, you probably don't know who Steve Wright is.
Yeah, dude,
I showed you
he's the
Steve
king of
Wright.
one. Well, the first one-liner.
Yeah,
I
the
think Mitch
first
Hedberg's the
deadpan
king.
He was the original deadpan one-liner, and Mitch Hedberg was the.
Did it better.
I love Mitch Hedberg.
Yeah, but he was the next generation. But so
Steve Wright.
I can do a pretty decent Steve Wright. Let me see if I can.
Please don't. You don't have to. You can just say it like, bro.
Joey's ready for you.
I need to hear this.
Started taking a multivitamin.
God damn it.
So now I go to the bathroom, turn off the lights, put on a little Pink Floyd, and have a laser show.
don't think anyone probably got that back then, though.
No, yeah, it's one of those things like the crowd chuckles. Like Stephen Wright is one of those guys. He's so smart. Like the crowd goes ha ha ha.
People probably didn't get that until 2005, though.
Yeah, but he was the king of it. You know, what was that other one? One of my favorite ones. Every night I go home, stare at a rug, try to move it with my mind. Been doing that for 8 years. The rest of the house is gone. The rug's still there. Right. That moment right there. That silence where you're like, wait, what? Because he can off-rail his own joke, but still have a punchline.
Meanwhile, Mitch Hedberg has no punchline, but it's still fucking funny.
I love it.
And I think a lot of comedians have said it best. Only Mitch Hedberg can deliver Mitch Hedberg.
There's a lot of people that try and do Mitch Hedberg.
Have you ever heard Mitch Hedberg?
I have no idea.
You need to look. He's a comedian. He's a comedian that does
I
like
tattoo. I wake up, I wipe asses, and then I tattoo.
This was a beautiful one. Mitch Hedberg, you gotta watch because Mitch Hedberg never got over his stage fright. Like it's amazing to watch.
He would literally he'd perform like he wouldn't face the crowd sometimes.
Yeah,
he'd just turn around.
He wore dark purple glasses, and even then, the bright light shining through, you could see that his eyes was closed. He would close his eyes.
Sometimes he'd just turn around.
I'm terrible with names. If you showed me the guy, I could, I'd probably see him.
But his jokes.
When you hear his voice, if you heard his comedy before, you know it's him.
Yeah.
They're all like these really brutal one-liners, and they're so bad they're funny.
If they were written on paper, you would just sit there and go, "This is the dumbest shit I've ever read."
He was the delivery king in many ways. He showed that delivery's 90% of the battle.
Died OD'd.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't know he was dead until like a couple months ago. I got real sad.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
That's the whole tragedy of his life story. I mean, it's just like
He died at how old was he?
Yeah,
He was like 28.
I don't think he made it 30. But okay, well you just stumbled upon something. So you hunt, you raise kids, you fish, and you do tattoos. And by God, that's about all there is.
You go on like actual hunting trips like up north and shit, right?
No, I'll chase ducks to
Oh.
Arkansas, but that's about as far as I go.
Had to chase them up there.
Because they're not here.
Not anymore.
See, that's my personal least favorite. Because I don't like the hangout shit very much.
What do you mean?
Well, you know how like everyone sits in the in-ground duck blind and everyone's just talking
Oh,
and
that
they got
sucks,
and they got all the bullshit. Well, that's what everyone wants to do around here. I don't like it.
No, I'll hunt the river.
Okay, that's a lot better.
Yeah, that's
Well,
a lot better.
you know what I'm talking about. Whenever they go, I like duck hunting. I'm like,
And what you really want to do is BS and then waste 100 shells.
yeah, and they're sitting there going, I limited out. Like, bitch, you don't even know.
You hunted a rice field.
Yeah, you don't even know. And they don't because there's like flocks of them. Everyone's just unloading. They're just sitting there going, you see all them I got, bitch.
Yep.
The whole shit was going up. This sounds like a fucking war zone out here. I am calling them out. It's bullshit. And it's not hunting anyways.
Because it's a big sport here, and it's really one of the few places that it is a sport. Until you like go back all the way down to like Argentina, whenever they finally, that's where all the ducks really go. This is kind of just a drop off.
And I made
stop point.
And I made some of the biggest duck blinds in Louisiana too. And I'm just calling. I don't even like the duck blinds I made. If it was me, I'd yank them out of the fucking ground. Fuck them. I don't like them. I don't like the hangout
He
shit.
feels strongly about
I do because if you're gonna call it hunting, you don't sit there going, you got a fucking propane heater behind you warming you up with fucking sausages going over here with biscuits, while you're all fucking chilling and you got a room behind you. You can just walk out and watch satellite TV. Fuck off.
He gets super fired up. You just wait till you hear.
Would you call that hunting? If you can just go back and watch satellite TV.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's how crazy these fucks get. I'm done. Fuck it.
Matt? You alright there?
Look. I hunted through the age of the cell phone, and I can tell you right now, this little thing made me wait a lot more hours just sitting in a deer stand. Because it used to be, oh God, is the sun up yet? Is the sun up yet? Okay, the sun's up. Nothing moved. I'm out. Now it's like, I'm just going to play my game. Play my game.
You do your email? Text your boss?
Oh.
See,
I guess I can get out now. It was this thing did have some advantages to that, because you can't really stalk around here. And I understand that stalking is a much more sportsman-like thing when it comes to deer
He's
hunting.
about to bust right now.
It is. It's a lot. It's harder though here, especially if the deer are under high pressure.
It's hard to stalk deer.
Yeah.
You can do turkey still.
You can do turkey still. Yes, because most people just can't fucking Turkeys are difficult to eat.
I know they are. And I'm gonna get one this year. I'm gonna stalk one
I
this
always
year.
wanted to guillotine one, and
I've
never got one. I was a real good shot at 30 yards with a bow. At 40 yards, I got iffy, even at my best.
I'm a little scared to fuck up a turkey with my hands because I know the other ones are gonna go nuts.
No, I meant shoot the broadhead.
I know, but like, I'm just actually thinking. I thought
If you had-
guillotine choke,
yeah, if you had
and
to
I just
fight
sitting there
with one-
thinking like, if I had to run up and just like snatch one and start ringing it like it.
Fuck you.
I know, right?
Turkeys
Joey's like, you
I
look
can,
weird.
I can take one turkey, but the whole flock of them, that'd be
Yeah.
bad.
What's funny about turkeys is a lot of people don't realize their feathers serve as armor. Like,
You ever been kicked by a turkey?
yeah, no.
I did.
Hang on, give me this
Tell me
feather.
this
Give me
story.
this feather armor.
Okay,
story
so
first.
they, especially the males, will ruffle them up and stuff, but they're way thicker
You know-
than they look. Like, you can't just shoot
You know
them.
that dragon scale body armor shit? You have it like lays over?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. Except they're like super thick.
Yeah,
You
their
ever-
feathers are like...
Pluck a
human
turkey.
hands.
Pluck a turkey at some point in your life, and you'll fucking realize.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like chicken feathers are like soft and all that. Like, you gotta fucking get
Yeah,
them.
turkeys unfortunately know their prey. Like, turkeys are one of the animals that are just aware enough that they know. Like, it's amazing when you get one within like 20 yards of you. like, wow, okay, I called him up. Seriously. They're just smart. They're the smarter dinosaur that made it. Like, a lot of people want to talk about chickens being raptors. I think it was a turkey, bro.
They're
Like,
slick.
They're slick. They know to roost. Like, they fly up just high enough to get in the trees.
Who got kicked by a turkey? Was that?
Yeah,
That was me.
I need to kick the turkey story.
My grandpa used to have a turkey that would always chill in the barn, and if you walked in, he'd sit on top of the rafter and just watch you. And he'd just sit there and he did this weird head shit. It used to creep me the fuck out as a kid because you'd just be sitting there watching him. He'd go,
Because he was thinking 3 million years ago, I'd eat your ass.
hang on, he'd be sitting there going, like, gobble,
Check
gobble.
it out.
And then as soon as you turn your back, and he'd wait until the door creaked whenever you push it open, he'd go, like, a little bit. And as soon as that happened, you'd hear flapping, and he'd dive down and fucking drop kick your ass and run off.
That's a mean ass turkey.
Yeah, he was mean as shit.
I mean, back then, Matt was a little drink of water. That turkey was like,
Oh,
maybe.
that turkey fucked me
That
up.
turkey was like, maybe I could fit that whole thing in my
Yeah, I can
mouth.
eat that.
No, he just fucked me up. He slammed me into the fucking barn door and everything. That
No,
little-
turkeys don't cull much. They'll eat a lot. Huh.
Scary ass bastards.
Now, is duck hunting your passion? Would you say out of all the hunting?
Yeah.
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 Do you actually like duck?
No.
See, it,
It's the funner sport.
No, I mean I eat it. I mean it's not my favorite meat, but it's the sport, just kind of the camaraderie.
well, no, I was talking to Brock about how most duck hunters don't actually like love duck meat,
right
because it's
like
really
a teal, something a smaller duck. I like
Right.
to eat it, but you know.
but it's really dry.
yeah.
It's hard to cook.
You got to wrap it in
by the way.
bacon and everything else.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
everything's good wrapped in bacon.
Well, I mean,
Duck fat's
duck-
incredibly evaporated. It leaves the meat really quickly. At a
I know that's why,
temperature.
but
It's hard to cook.
but that's why duck wraps are like my go-to.
Yeah.
That's my personal favorite because it locks all the shit in.
Wrap it up.
Yeah, cream cheese, if I can get it.
Cream cheese is the way to go.
Yeah.
That's why I do it with pork too. But I mean, it's for the same reason. There's not a lot of fat to begin with.
And for the
can't cook, by the way.
And for the first time in my life, I had a duck roast that was actually good. They had all that shit like sliced super thin. It was fucking amazing.
Super thin.
Yeah, they just sliced it up. It was super thin. I was like some weird deli meat shit going on. It was awesome.
Never had it that way.
It was great. My personal favorite now. But I couldn't ever do it.
Do you think it's a manly thing to cook?
Duck.
To cook.
Sure. To grill. To fry.
To grill and fry?
What
No
about
bacon, though.
No
He
bacon.
won't bake.
No bacon.
Look at
You're
him.
baking a cookie, you're a pussy. Better be red meat.
Yeah, you better be just finishing off that red meat.
That's fair.
Ron Swanson?
The only time I turn on the oven is like when I pan sear. Pan sear, and then stick it in the oven to finish. Not sear it so that the juices don't get out.
He thinks he's Gordon Ramsay.
No, I just know how to cook.
This steak is entirely overdone, you fucking twat.
Yes. Have you watched? Do you do any sort of Twitter at all?
Me
Gordon
neither.
Ramsay
Me
does it.
neither.
Gordon
Oh,
Ramsay's
I've
Twitter's
seen it. I've actually
amazing.
seen that when people send in the pictures.
Yeah, he just
and he
bashes
greases
it.
their ass.
Just-
And I think
Yeah.
they intentionally send him like the shittiest things they can find.
Sometimes. It's kind of like American Idol. I think some of them are there. Not that that's a show anymore. But
Oh, it got
Never Knowing-
canceled?
Is it not a show anymore?
13 seasons. That was it.
Really?
Yeah, just 13.
Why didn't you
13
celebrate?
The worst of America.
I do not like that show at all.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, I think some of the people are well aware that they're
Suck.
yeah, and some don't. Like, the beauty to me was actually trying to figure out which ones were that self-aware and which ones weren't.
Which ones just came off the bat?
Yeah. And then they purposely let those people through.
Yeah.
That just makes a better show.
Yeah. That's
Oh,
what,
yeah.
I mean, obviously.
Dude, there was so many people that just watched the first half of that season of whatever, you know, just to see the funniness and then would turn it off.
Yeah.
I think they lost that formula toward the end. That was their problem.
I've been sitting here trying to think of a joke about, like, if we didn't have American Idol, then we wouldn't have had whoever, but I can't even think of which actual.
Kelly
Like,
Clarkson.
shit. Who
That
else?
was the first season. Everybody else.
Didn't Simon stop being a dick towards the end?
No.
He just went to a different show.
What show?
X Factor. Yeah, that was I don't even remember what network that's on, but it's like legit, like $5 million contract and all that shit.
Yeah. and
No,
then-
Simon Cowell's got a scary eye for pop talent.
Yeah.
He's the one who.
Oh yeah, we can thank him for One Direction.
Yeah, he put them together.
Oh, he's the
Yeah,
he did
he's-
that in a day.
son
Yeah.
of a bitch.
He did that in a day. Like they all five came and sang that day, and he picked them out of literally thousands of people walking by
Yeah.
and put them together.
He did all that.
He did
We can
that.
thank him for that.
He
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
there- and then like the X Factor also like had this mentor stage where it showed people going to his house, and that's when you realize Simon Cowell was a baller. He's got
His
like,
Bronco is sick. Have
he's
you ever
got-
seen it?
I haven't seen
I
it.
didn't know he had a Bronco.
Oh, it's cool.
I just know that he's got money. Like part of the reason why he's a dick is because he's the richest man in the room, because of music, and ain't had to sing a note.
Okay, so he made all that money off American Idol. No?
No, he was a famous producer.
Oh
before
shit, he's got a Model 2. Didn't know.
What's that?
that. Oh yeah, he's got like World War II stuff going on there. The flat nose is so interesting. How come people aren't going back to the square body designs? Like the design of vehicles are a little more square.
Mhm.
You know, the 2000s was all rounded, and things are a little more square now. But nobody's went to like the square, like the
Like
Chevy
a box
square
car.
bodies.
Wait, what? I don't even. I
That's
think
why that talking about vehicles and squares. Boxcars are square.
Why do I even try to do it? I try to help. Unfortunately, look what you gave me to work with.
It is what it is.
Oh goodness. So there was never a aha, I made it moment. But you could say that you feel pretty comfortable where you are now.
Sure.
How many people you have working for you?
It's me and 4 other artists
And a secretary.
and a secretary.
And
But-
2 shops now? Or
Just one. It's just one.
Okay.
just extended it, right?
Yeah, we expanded another 1,500 square feet.
Yeah.
I was
Is
I was
there
over in
plans
July.
for the shop number 2?
You know, we were talking about it the other day. If I could find, if I could get my guys back that were originally with me, Nathan Fisher, he's working at Black 13 in Tennessee right now.
Mm-hmm.
If I could get him, I would try to open a shop in Monroe.
Yeah, because just to think about it, it's kind of like owning a restaurant, right? You don't have to be hands-on everything, but you have to be hands-on on everything, right? And to open up a second shop would make you be in 2 places at once. You can't really do that, so you have to find a true confidant,
Mhm.
right? And somebody that you can truly, bruh,
This is yours.
this is yours. I mean, yeah, it's my name, but this is yours.
Right.
Yeah, that's a hard person to find.
That's a very hard person to find.
Without-
I can't even trust Dylan with a 20. Or a little Debbie snack cake.
You'll crush it.
Depends on the time of year.
He'll crush it. It may be a day, it may be 2 days. In a moment of weakness, he'll crush it.
It's going down.
Maybe not all at once either.
Yeah, and that's the problem. Is he's the man who goes, let me taste.
And then he'll put it down.
Put it down. Pretty good. That's
Look
pretty
at
well
it.
done with me. Yeah. See it in your eyes.
That's always the biggest fear, though, is like branching off and building bigger, but then having it get watered down.
Yeah, that's a leap, right? I mean, that's just to bring it to jiu-jitsu. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the that's what Hickson's all the time talking about, is that, what did you do to my art? Or my
Yeah,
father's art?
what happened?
What did you do to my stuff?
Yeah.
I like his War Tribe video. Did you see that?
I haven't
War
watched it.
Tribe is
I
helping
saw
put
it-
out a series
I-
of self-defense
Probably
videos.
partnered with him though.
Yeah, good stuff. I mean, and you have certain ethical boundaries. You have a certain way you like to do business. So branching out is almost like one of the scariest things ever.
It is, because I'm so comfortable, where I am now.
Yeah, you've already taken the pain once.
Mm-hmm. And I've got the market cornered. There's no competition in Ruston.
Yeah, versus
Has there been
West Monroe
attempted?
is a little.
No, not since. Well, when I opened up, there was me and 2 other studios, and then it got up to 6 total. And then
In Ruston?
In Ruston, yeah. And slowly but surely, they started falling off.
Those other ones must have been over there off California then, right?
There was one off California. There was one off 33. There was
Okay.
one right there in Grambling.
Okay.
where the-
He's crushing
I mean,
They crushed themselves.
Oh.
yeah, I was about to say. I mean,
Yeah, no.
I mean,
that
whenever
is part of it, right?
I mean, here's one thing. Like, whenever I got mine, I realized that I started hanging out with other people that had, like tattoos and shit. And I started realizing that like people talk shit all the time.
Yeah, well, I mean, tattoos are such a.
But
let's
no
be
one-
honest, permanent thing.
Mhm.
Okay,
Right.
but no one over there talks shit.
Yeah.
Nobody.
That's part of him. That's
Yeah.
his personality. I don't have to show you how good. I don't have to talk about how good I am.
I mean,
I'm just
I'm
gonna
not-
show it. Here's my I love me wall.
I mean, I'm not gonna
Suck it.
talk.
Here's my pictures.
I'm not gonna say which studios, but there's a lot of studios in Monroe that,
Oh, that's an everyday deal.
right.
I'm
All
not
they
gonna
do
get
is
caught
talk
up in
smack.
it. I refuse to do that.
I think that's a lot of energy.
It is.
And I think insults are a creative energy, right? You're spilling out. I'm gonna tell you that. I ain't got time for that.
Right.
Nobody got time for that.
I don't care what they're doing.
Yeah.
All I can do is focus on me.
They got the bronchitis.
Right, but I feel like that says more about your ability. Because instead of feeling the need to talk shit, you're just kind of like, yeah, I'm just gonna do this,
Well,
and
that's the
people can
thing,
just
if I
and people can
engage
just
one person,
look.
If I engage this person, then I'm going to have to engage the next studio, and then the next, and then it's a never-ending battle.
Right, but not even that. I'm talking about you just let the work speak for
Oh, sure,
itself.
yeah.
Just kind of like, yeah, this is what's going on over here, and this is what's going on over there. You can pick whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
Have you tattooed a wedding ring on anybody?
Oh yeah.
That one's always weird to me.
I've always seen really shitty ones. I've never seen.
Well, people want tattoos all the way around their finger. And
That's
it's
a
not-
weird.
Yeah,
and
because
it's not the same skin texture, so the
And you
really
gotta
only
be-
good skin is on the top side.
right, and I'm sitting there looking at that, and my skin like folds weird and shit.
Yeah, it stretches
doing
out.
that,
blows out.
yeah.
It's ugly.
So would that be one you don't suggest?
Yeah, we don't do it at all. Anything that's inside or the underside of the finger.
Even
we
the
don't
little
do it.
mustache?
We've done a mustache before.
You said you should have
we
mustache?
tell them it's going to look like shit,
Yeah.
and it does.
It don't take long for it to.
Mhm.
I mean, and fingers are so different, diverse.
Mhm.
I mean, that's one thing. Like, hands are.
Thinking about that,
legitimately
someone that like works out or works outside all the time, manual labor type shit, it'd be really hard to tattoo that shit anyways.
different. Yeah, so much of it's gonna slough off.
Right, all that weird callus shit.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, I could see that. And the top of the hand, do you not suggest that either?
If you're happy where you are in life,
Yeah.
you know.
So younger
Because
people,
no matter
you'll
what-
kind of.
No matter what you do, stigmas are stigmas.
Sure.
Yeah.
You're never going to get away from that. And I'll show it in my hands. I'm like, I'm a tattoo.
I will
artist.
say-
I can get away with it, and I don't have it.
Yeah.
That'll tell you something.
Yeah.
I will say that it's starting to become more lax.
No. You just see more people at Starbucks with them.
No. Like in the medical bullshit. Let me say that in the medical bullshit, it's becoming more lax than it was.
What's a different generation?
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, before it was like if you had one, oh my god. But now, like nurses are starting to be able to like have them showing and shit like that. Where before, if they even found out you had one,
Well, they don't have a choice. They wouldn't be able to hire anybody.
Well,
Right.
I think one of the interesting things, I think what has changed the culture hasn't been dudes at all. I don't think dudes have had nothing to do with it.
Women.
I think it's been women.
Mhm.
Because women are wanting them more often and are showing them more often, it's forced culture to shift because they're the nurturers. And if the nurturers accept something,
I never really
Gotcha.
thought about it that way.
oh yeah. Anytime the females accept something, culture changes throughout history.
That's true.
Yep. It's scary.
It is scary.
They're in control. Just don't let them know it.
They've always been in control.
They've always been in control. They've always been in control.
So have you seen the male sex robot that they're making? So we about to be enslaved or what? We're about to be obsolete.
I don't know. There was
You haven't seen it?
No, there was a Rick and Morty.
Oh no, they have made male sex robots
What's the point?
to make us obsolete and enslave us underground.
I mean, do they really want a body?
I don't fucking
Males
know.
want a body because they want something to objectify. Right, that's the problem with males.
You have some deep thoughts going on inside your head.
This is all the
Oh,
time.
you have no idea. You have no idea.
Me and Dylan forget.
We'll add you to our group chat.
Like we'll send you something fucking like we'll send something.
Joe, just throw everything. Just throw everything.
We'll just send something like super innocuous or just nothing, and Brock's digging a fucking hole over here, and before we know it, we're all 20 feet deep.
You gotta be willing to go deep. I told you.
I say that he's not even. It's like he's not even out there with the show. He's got a fucking track hoe operational at all times.
So when I said I love adrenaline, one thing to note is I'm also messed up in the head that scary thoughts or uncomfortable thoughts give me that adrenaline. Puzzles give me that adrenaline. And so trying to figure out this crazy thing that's existence itself, I'm in it. 1 o'clock in the morning, I'm in it.
If you're not first, you're last.
Oh, if you're not first, you don't exist. It's that give.
So I just found out.
There's no give.
I just found out there's a thing called escape rooms that are actually pretty common, and we have some in Monroe.
Yeah, there's one like right
I didn't
around
know
the
that.
corner
I didn't
from
even
our
know.
house.
Like somebody told me, "What the fuck's an escape room?" They're like,
You
"Well,
get
they."
1 hour to solve the puzzle.
So I'm gonna pay someone to lock me in a fucking room?
Yeah.
No, fuck that.
Well, there's
You know what
supposed to be
rooms
one.
we need? We need those ones that like they have in Texas where you get to damage something.
See, that's what I
That
was.
sounds
You see
great.
those?
What?
No.
Yeah, they,
Never heard.
like
What do you
get
do?
a baseball bat, sledgehammer, whatever. They
What-
make you wear
What can
protection.
I fuck up?
Like you can bring in a TV.
Oh, I can bring shit.
Or yes, so you can like bring your ex-girlfriend's shit and smash it, or you can pay them and they'll put it in the room and you can smash it and just go crazy.
Dishes,
Yeah,
windows.
just anything that you've ever wanted to legitimately break.
Some people have like jump
They have
cars
it.
they do it with.
I think they're called damage rooms, but yeah.
See, that's not very. I don't know. I mean, that's great for people that don't have land.
It's
Like people in cities, that's
Yeah,
amazing. Like
yeah.
me, I just put tannerite in an old refrigerator and blow
Well, I
the
mean,
fuck
that's what
up.
country boys have done throughout history, right? It's what males have done. Males are destructive creatures, right? How many times did you find yourself as a teenager just destroying something and not even sure why you destroyed it,
Do not put tannerite in a cookie jar.
but it must be destroyed?
Am I the only one that like
Too many
slowly
shards.
peels apart a styrofoam cup?
No.
Like at the top?
Nah, do that.
No, because that's
Never?
really
You've
that
never
has-
done
I
that?
don't know.
That
I
has
mean,
a tactile satisfaction.
like just kind of breaking off the styrofoam
I do that.
cup, you know?
You need something to do.
I have plenty to do, Joey. Plenty to do.
I like how 3 of us do it, and he acts like we're the weird ones. That's some confidence right there. He's like, you fuckers are weird.
It's the name of the show right there in and of itself, though. Organic and raw.
Okay, there's a lot of bullshit on there. I'm gonna go ahead and start with this.
Wait,
Oh,
so wait.
there's
No, look.
Thank
Alright,
you.
so there's this hippie culture. There's this hippie culture that takes
you swallowed.
that takes things like this and they make it really
Listen.
gay.
Let me-
You cup the ball
just-
down and swallow
let me-
it.
They make it
Look,
really gay.
let me read the ingredients.
I want you to read. That's what I'm talking about. The ingredient. Read the ingredients.
Per bottle, probiotics, bacillus, coagulans,
These are living
GBI 30, bukkake mix.
Horse semen.
cultures. Well, I get that organically.
What?
That's disgusting.
God damn. You can have that back.
From the source.
Dylan, we told you can't milk that horse.
That's a male horse.
That is awful.
Episode about
Have you been
Joey
watching
took a
that?
picture of my head.
I fucking like that show.
Trailer Park Boys is great.
You need to
Never seen it.
You need to watch
Oh my
it.
God.
Jesus Christ.
So you typically think of Trailer Park White Trash
No,
as
if
an
you-
American thing. Wait. So imagine Balkanville in Canada.
This is. You've heard about Balkanville.
I live in Ruston.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's not
so
that far away.
I know it's not that far, but you'd be surprised. But anyways, it is. Being there for 7 years, it's just like Balkanville. There's
But
somebody
Canada.
right.
So
So,
it's-
a little bit more polite.
It's beautiful. It transcends humanity. You're like, oh, they're everywhere.
I mean, except Balkanville gets a little worse on some streets.
Sure.
but-
But it's the misadventures of three gentlemen that grew up in this trailer park, right? And they're
What?
all the time trying to get out, get rich.
My favorite one is Bubbles.
Oh yeah.
Bubbles makes money by stealing shopping carts and repairing them and selling them back for kitty food.
Oh yeah, and he lives in a shed. He don't actually have a trailer. He lives in the trailer park. Has always lived in the trailer park, but he lives in one of those little sheds.
It's one of
portable sheds.
It's one of those shows.
Oh yeah. That's what I'm telling you. Like you're like, there's no way this show's Canadian.
Every
Oh,
season,
this show's 100% Canadian.
Every season starts with them
Is
getting
there
out
only
of
one
jail.
season?
No, there's yeah.
It's Netflix original.
Every season
back.
starts with them
That's what's
getting
wrong
out of
with
jail.
America.
Yeah.
Now this is what's wrong with Canada.
Yeah. This is, I'm telling you, this is Canadian. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful
check it
train
out.
wreck. Yeah, I'm just saying. And they're 20-minute episodes, which is what's even better, right? You don't get.
Yeah, you're not.
something
Yeah,
in
you're
an
not.
hour.
Yeah, you're not strapped in.
It's not like watching Black Mirror where I'm mind fucked for 3 days.
Yeah, you just strap in
What
for
is
20
that?
minutes.
Oh,
I'm learning all these new things.
Reserve a night for
Yeah.
Black Mirror. That's not something like you.
It's
Like-
like conspiracy theory.
Have you've seen
no.
Twilight Zone, right?
So I don't.
Did you
Like
ever
the
watch?
original Twilight.
yeah. It's like a modern.
Kind of
It's like a
mind
modern.
fuck,
It's like a modern version of Twilight Zone.
Okay.
There you
Right.
go. See,
Except
quick
you-
rundown to the point.
Except you trip. Like it's not like Coke where you're done in 15 minutes. It's like mushrooms where you gotta make a commitment.
Yeah,
You
because
gotta ride it out.
when they
like-
twist on this show,
It's what's hard.
it twists hard.
Like you need to like.
Like
You know, there's
what-
there's a few hours that you need
Yeah,
to think.
right. Because it hits home. It's not like the Twilight Zone. Some of it was far fetched, even for its time. It was kind of like that's reaching. This show so far, 4 seasons in, they haven't reached. Like they maybe go 20 years into the future.
And it's
it's technology that you see right around the corner. No, it's
or it's the abuse of
See, I would
technology.
like that. I think I would
yeah.
really enjoy that.
No.
Or it's
I'm
the
telling you,
abuse of
it-
technology. we
It's
have
it's
now.
shit. It's shit that you can see happening definitely within your lifetime.
yes, and that's what's bad about it is you go, "Woof. Wow, we're riding on razor's edge.
It's only 4. I've only watched the first 2 seasons. I
Yeah,
think.
there's 4.
They're all great.
They're all great.
That's the
It
one
just
show I
gets
actually
deeper
took time to watch.
and deeper. Like I don't know what those guys are on. I don't know what they're doing to write that show, but I do not want to be in that writer's room.
Isn't it weird how sometimes you want your depending on what the job is, sometimes you want whoever's working on your shit to just get high as fuck after work.
Like they probably have to because those dudes, I'm telling you, whatever they're tapping into, like I'm sure there's a philosophy major in that room. I'm sure there's some psychoanalysts that they talk to because the stuff that, and they talk to some sort of technology expert because the stuff that they talk about is not that far off. Phone go ring ring.
Yeah,
That's perfect.
what's it called whenever a show is like the Twilight Zone, how it only has one like episode, or it has different characters for
For every episode, I don't know.
Yeah, there's a word for that.
Miniseries type thing.
No, there's a word. Anthology.
Anthologies. Oh yeah, short anthologies.
Yeah.
You're right.
So there's never like, you're never, oh shit, I missed this episode. That's what I really liked about it. I started at season 4 and worked my way
Oh
back.
yeah, because it is for some reason it's backwards.
I did that with Rick and Morty.
Wait,
Even though
what,
it's
what do you
not
mean it's
backwards.
backwards?
For some reason, Black Mirror is backwards. I don't know if that's part of what
What do you
they've
mean
done on
backwards?
purpose. Season 4 is at front. Season 3, season 2, season 1, it's backwards. It's posted backwards.
Are you sure?
I absolutely am sure.
I've only watched 2 and 1. Don't look at me.
They
Go
were-
look. It's backwards of every other show. The way they're posted. Don't know why.
I always thought. See, I don't watch enough. I thought that was just the way it was set up on Netflix.
No, Netflix is correct for every other thing but Black Mirror.
Uh-huh.
Including British shows, because at first I was like,
Maybe it's a
maybe British thing? No. So you didn't consider yourself any sort of nerd growing up?
Not really. I mean, I like science, but that was about as far as that went.
Yeah.
Whenever you say, did you actually like science, or did you just like what science can do?
No, I mean, I like the experiments, the projects, stuff like that.
Okay.
So, I mean, I guess
Once
in that
again,
aspect, yeah.
the thing, though, you like the end result.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you find yourself to be the kind of person who liked building things that do? Do you like building objects?
I like to, but I don't have the patience a lot of the time.
Me too, man.
Not a mechanic. I can be a...
But understand how it works.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, if you show me, I can do it, but I'm not naturally geared to be a mechanic. No.
Was there any science experiments back in the day that you liked? Is there anything in high school, real all the way back? Something a teacher showed that you were like, oh, that's cool.
He's digging
Not
deep.
really. Let's see. Oh. I mean, I really like forestry.
Yeah.
Forestry. I mean, I liked all the ag classes. That was really it. I didn't like school.
So whenever you're talking about forestry, you mean in like the way you can tell history through trees and
like
all
tree
that?
identification and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
See, because I really like the tree ring kind of thing.
world.
So like you could look at it and you could like trees give you a print of history that's really fucking cool.
Even how much rainfall was.
Right, and like it'll tell you like droughts and shit like that, and it's really awesome to me.
Yeah,
I never
really old trees out there that actually have given us proof of, droughts and things like that. It's always weird whenever they coalesce with things some people consider mythological stories, like religion. It's like, oh, so there was a really dry year. Oh, there was a flood that year.
Historical.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
It's like the trees are trying to
Where
speak
you
to
going
us.
with that, Brock? We digging back into.
Are you about to talk about Paul Stamets?
So he's got me worried.
I know. See,
So
look,
when he asks a question, I'm like, what is he setting up?
Yeah, it's loaded. No.
This is
No.
definitely a loaded question.
Yeah.
You haven't asked a non-loaded question yet.
Life is loaded.
You're right.
But why? Why his high school science?
It's curious.
Just curious.
I thought I knew the answer. And I was pretty close to right.
He's cocky too.
No.
Really?
I could have very well been wrong. It was either going to be something that exploded.
Actually, yeah.
Everybody likes shit that explodes, though.
There was a science experiment that involved a volcano.
Uh-huh.
We all love that, though.
Wait,
Everybody loves
No. The type of personality in this room loves that.
you didn't happen to be in my middle school class where the kid threw the sodium bar out the window while it was raining, were you?
No, but that sounds awesome.
So
That
do you
was
still
great.
realize me since I've been sitting here?
No.
Joey, don't you show up on us.
No,
You open back up, you flower, you.
No. See, psychoanalyzing someone means
It's
that
real.
I-
See how you do it.
Yeah, it means that I have a purpose to get to your core.
Right.
The audience is the one that's getting to your core. I'm not.
That's true.
Yeah, I'm just here to help pull it back. You can ask me a question.
Doing a great job.
Thank you. I try.
What's your favorite color?
Oh shit, this gets deep.
Oftentimes.
What color green?
Usually pretty close to what I'm wearing right now.
What's that?
When he's angry, red.
Army puke green.
It is. I don't know why.
And you've worn the uniform for.
You talking about the
8
red
years,
or the
9 years.
army puke
10?
shit?
Yeah.
You talking about army puke shit?
Yeah, we're talking about army puke shit.
Army puke shit. But most times green.
Yeah.
One of the reasons why I do them natural portraits.
That's cool.
I like them.
That's really cool.
Thank you.
Brock is a connoisseur of all arts, master of none, but he sticks his hand in everything.
Me too.
Everything.
Once again, life is loaded. To ever begin to understand one thing is to understand all things, right?
Dylan was the only
that's
one.
Musashi in of itself.
Yeah.
Once you've mastered something, you can master anything. And that's a well-known thing. So I'm trying this slightly different approach with life where I'm trying to understand all things in their basic mechanics so that I can see what the collective truth is. Because I don't believe in universal truth, but I believe in a collective truth. Just like I believe in collective intelligence. That 20 men working on a project, even though it'll be a lot more difficult, is a lot better than one man with an absolute vote.
It's true.
Yeah.
I don't know why I got reminded of this, but you know how they apparently like scientists are starting to strongly agree that multiverse theory is probably correct.
Yes.
I really want to argue against that, but I don't know shit compared to them, so I just have to sit there and go,
Well, that's because
And then
photons are so spooky.
Okay, yeah, they talk about photons, but what the fuck is that?
Photon is what it breaks into. Photon is what a base component of light is. And the problem is depending on when you measure the photon.
Right, and then they're talking about
it's either
measuring
light or matter.
Yeah, and then they're talking about
Wow.
measuring time and shit too.
Yes, and that's the other problem is that photons help measure the time, but the answer changes depending on when you measure.
Exactly, which is why whenever they tell me that shit, I'm like, what the fuck are y'all saying?
It's the very problem that Einstein left this world scared.
If Einstein can't figure it out, I'm not gonna try. I don't give a fuck.
He oftentimes called it the spooky truth, that photons and quarks were spooky
Yeah, because they change.
because they change.
It
Because
pisses
he
me off.
because he could not find an answer.
Sorry,
Look,
Joey,
Stephen
it's-
Hawking
hey,
wrote his 2 books based on the fact that those things can't be solved.
Right.
by and large.
So I don't even try. So like I'm with you.
I'm just looking at you. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, it's rough.
There's this little meme of Thor eating glue that like
I like to send.
Yeah, like anytime stuff gets too deep, that's the picture I get sent is like Thor eating glue. I'm like, all right.
I'm not good at much. Like I'm good at a few things, and like I just keep myself in those lanes. And I feel like you kind of that same way.
Same way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I could like get all right with other things if I put that time into those. But
What if I told you I'm jealous of that?
how central focused I am?
Yeah.
I believe you, but I don't believe you really want to be central focused.
I can't be.
Yeah. Well, you won't let yourself be. Like.
Yeah. There's this creature in me that has to
Yeah.
has to peel it back.
Well, like you said, whenever you took that $7,000 loan out for that whole 11 months it took you to pay that off, you slept, shit, ate,
You kind of did the
tattooed.
same thing, really.
Yeah, I mean that's all I've done
Well,
these
that's what he
past
did with his
3
last
years.
appointment, is everything the money.
Yeah.
And that's all I heard about.
He started doing them. He was being super minimalist until
Well, I still
Lily.
am. I'm
Nah,
less
Yeah,
now
he
than I
still
have.
is.
Yeah.
She's just the thing that fluffs his life.
yeah, but you.
She is the pillow of his
Yeah,
life.
but you like go into
I
your
have a
house. But you
couch
go
now.
into your
Yeah.
house. Yeah, you didn't even have a fucking couch before. Your living room was empty, and there was just a bearded dragon tank, and that was it.
Yeah.
Rocky.
Nothing wrong with that.
No, there was nothing wrong with it at all. But like, he did not give himself anything else.
I didn't need anything else. I still don't.
And that-
the only
that's
reason
what
I
I'm
have the
saying,
couch is
though.
because it's nice for us to.
And that's
sit on
because you
now,
had one
too.
option,
Yeah.
and there was nothing else. You just didn't even allow it.
Yeah, which leads me to a question. We talk about the 11 months of paying off that loan, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel that helped entrench you into making that a permanent life decision? Because it's all you thought about, because it's all you were doing, that it helped make it even more so.
Yeah, that was my main focal point. I mean, that's how I, paid the bills. That's how I took care of myself. That was my central focus. I had no backup plan. I never graduated from high school. I got my GED while I was in prison. I was good at cutting grass. I could do a damn good job at that. But I mean, that's what I had, and that's what I focused on.
How important do you think it is I think we can only all talk about the male psyche. But how important is it?
I took some gender
for you
studies
think-
classes.
You hush. How important do you think it is for young men to operate without a net, knowing there's not a net? There's no safety.
I think that's the only way that a male is going to learn. Because I've got a kid that I've helped out since he was 17, 18 years old, cutting my yard and doing this and doing that. I'm like, look, get your GED. I'll help you buy a truck, this and that. I'll help you always bail him out anytime you ever need any money.
Right.
Well, he's 24. He hasn't got his GED. He's not going anywhere. And anytime he gets in a bind, he asks me for it. And I help him, because I have a good heart and I want to help the kid. But it's actually holding him back.
Yeah, I've always found it funny that we talk about young men being mama's boys. And then when I say the word mama's boy, you instantly have someone that pops in your head. And you know that, he wasn't given the safety net was never taken away.
Yeah.
Right, and I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is about guys, but we only seem to learn when it truly hurts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
When it's a truly gut check thing.
Mm-hmm.
Now you have to time it, because if you do it to someone too young, or if it's too often, then you get the criminally insane.
Resentment.
Right, yeah, they're always bitter. Everyone's always out to get them, even though you meet some incredibly smart people, but they can't ever achieve because that dude's out to get me. So now they're going to waste their energy getting back at someone that's not even frankly worried about whether or not they're alive.
Okay, but sometimes you get the same result with the opposite method, where they never have the safety net.
That's what I'm talking about.
No, but you were just talking about with the safety net.
No, I was talking about those born very poor.
Oh,
who
okay.
Have it very, very rough. And yeah, no, they're
And they usually end up schizophrenic or some shit.
or just someone's always out to get them, and there's this resentment.
Victim mentality.
It's a victim mentality, and that's very hard to unwind. Good God.
I mean, I don't know what to say.
Yeah, it's a incredibly
Probably the more
intensive
dangerous,
battle.
the more dangerous one's that predator mentality that I've seen them get.
Well, yeah, because
That's horrible.
Because they don't want to be the prey anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
I worked with a guy like that.
How did we fall into this? Where did this conversation start? Because I feel like we were going somewhere and we just went off on this.
No,
we just
got
got
on track talking about how at 23 years old.
Yeah.
He was talking about the kid.
He had his wake up call.
And he
right?
had a safety net.
How much of prison was a wake up call?
Okay, yeah.
Right, and then how much was mowing those yards and working at that golf course a wake up call? These were.
This is what
solid.
you're going to do. That's how I looked at it. This is what you're going to do. This is who you're going to be. And I saw the men that were working there that had been there for 20 years that were broken down and just not happy with life. And I knew I didn't want to do that.
Getting drunk just to get through the day.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We all know this person.
Yeah.
Because these people are those guys. There are guys stuck in blue collar jobs that, and I love blue collar.
There's nothing wrong with
There's
guys.
nothing wrong. But you see guys that weren't meant for it. You do see guys that they're a little bit smarter than everyone else around them, but they're resentful. They're resentful because they didn't make it. You know? Yeah. They're a smarter guy in the room. They're always the one going, "That's a dumb idea. I can't believe we're doing that." And then they go.
That sounds like
and that's usually
I've ever had with the fucking army.
There's a lot of
but that's usually the guy that comes up and tells the younger dude, get the fuck out.
Yeah, you're right. Also, that's the guy, you don't want to do this.
I mean, I got told that by one.
You go get your education. You go finish that degree. So yeah.
I've got told that.
Yeah. You know that guy. And sometimes you're like.
And that guy's still one of my best friends.
Whoa. In a moment of clarity, right? Because they just walk around not doing anything with anybody, but then in a moment, they snap to try to snap you out of where you're at. I'm saying all that to say sometimes it's interesting to know when to operate without the safety net. It's a hard thing to do in parenting, right? Because sometimes you just want to rip the wool off their eyes and go, "Look, kid, you better straighten up." But you can't. They're kids.
Yeah.
You can't do it all at once. You have to incrementally, or give them a little responsibility. Draw a hard line in the sand here, but make a soft line here.
And if you weren't doing it from the start, it's going to be hard to catch up there at the end.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Because I have a friend who lived in the safety net his whole life, and now here he is having a real hard time trying to face real consequence, because there is no consequence. No matter what happens,
Mom's got money, Daddy's got money, and it's not always money. Sometimes it's just that unconditional, no matter what you do. "No, it's okay. You can come live with us."
I grew up in a weird spot because I always had the safety net, but working where I was since I was 14, 15, I was seeing people that never had it.
I think that maybe
so I was exposed.
By the way.
Yeah, I think so too. But I was exposed to it all because I told him where I was going to work. Most parents would have been like, "Fuck no." He was just kind of like,
your dad's kind of hands off.
Very.
At appropriate times. Yeah.
Very.
Yeah, I see it.
No, he's very hands off until I fuck up.
Yeah,
it's hands on.
Yeah. All right. Just go fly, little butterfly. Oh, that hurt. Here, let's talk about it.
Here's a question I have for you, Joey. And you talked about how set in you were for those 11 months. No plan B. Hey, I don't have a plan B either.
Yeah.
I think if you have a plan B, it takes away from your plan A.
I think so.
If you want the island, you burn the boats.
But
go into that more because people fail. So, what's the plan like there?
If I were to fail?
Yeah, not anymore because
You could still fail.
Yeah, you could, but you're pretty set.
Yeah.
You're pretty set in your business and everything. But back then, was there ever anything in your mind that was like, "Hey, what happens if this doesn't work out, or if I can't pay this loan back?" Or
It's always a thought, because there's risk involved.
Yeah.
The sleepless nights.
I just concentrated so much on what I was trying to do. It never even crossed my mind. I mean, when rent was due and I was, $50 to $100 short.
He never thought about failure. He said.
You should understand that.
Really.
Yeah. But I just want to bounce it off his head.
Yeah. I knew that could happen, maybe.
Yeah.
Someone else.
Someone else. Well, it can happen to me. 'Cause this is what I'm going to do.
Exactly.
This is what I'm going to do.
Exactly.
Well, and to talk about that other coin, you especially guys that are like venture capitalist entrepreneur types and stuff like that. All the time they talk about the 10 or 12 times they failed in business before their $1 million business finally took off.
You got to fail forward.
You have to fail forward. There's a book called Relentless Forward Progression, and it's an ultramarathon book. But in it, there's this theme, and these guys talking about how you just keep running. Well, what do you do when your body shuts down? Well, you put one foot in front of the other, and keep going, you know. And
Those people are fucking crazy.
are they, or are they just actually expressing life?
Oh, they're
Are they literally
crazy. If
expressing
you're
the
running
metaphor?
until you go blind and keep fucking running, Courtney,
Yeah.
you're fucking nuts.
But aren't they just expressing the metaphor?
I mean, you could say that, but they're still crazy.
I'm still jealous.
No, I mean, so
Who, me?
Yeah.
No, they're nuts, man.
Yeah.
Look, the story of Sisyphus is a man who was condemned to hell to push a rock up the hill for the rest of his life, right? For the rest of eternity.
Yeah.
And, you know, Albert Camus comes along and goes, well, that's life right there.
Yeah.
Push a rock up a hill,
Yeah.
and you die. Ultramarathoners are literally just
But the thing is
living
like,
that.
yeah, but they don't get anything of it. Is what's crazy. They just do it to do it.
So he talks about how much more gratifying it is to do a multi-session tattoo.
Right, but it's there.
And we can extrapolate that if you ran 150 miles.
People would look at me and say you're fucking nuts.
But we're not talking about other people. We're talking about you.
I have no interest in that. I can't understand that because I have no interest in doing that shit.
Well, you've never done anything like that.
No.
And I think, well, so let's put it this way.
But other people, I mean, I get it that it's not my thing, but other people, if I were to tell them, like, yeah, one day I'm going to go up north and go on an elk hunt and pack that shit out, and they're going to be like, why?
Exactly.
Well, yeah.
I get it. But to me, they're just fucking nuts, man.
It's like,
Relentless.
I get it.
you look at your peak, because Matt used to bodybuild. I mean, he looks like an average built guy now, but you'll notice back in high school, he was really thin. He was like super thin.
125 at 5'11".
Like, thin. And then he just started ridiculous bodybuilding for what, 3 years? Was it 2 or
No,
3?
about 3.
And he got big as shit.
225.
Yeah. I just think about like how much you accomplished to that point. And even though you don't still do it, like you still look back at that whenever you ever tell people that complain about their weight or people that complain about their size, you're like,
Yeah, I think, bitch.
yeah,
I-
like
So there you go.
I get it.
Stop the whole thing. That moment where you go, bitch.
I get it.
That isn't about their goalpost. This is about your goalpost.
Right.
And this is what gets you out of bed in the morning. It's what gets him out of bed in the morning. I know I'm going to be able to pay my bills this month. Why? Because I've done it for years now. How do I know I'm going to get customers in? Because customers come. Why? Because I put out product. Bitch, I'm going to be successful.
Right.
Motherfuckers, back up.
I'm just saying the ultramarathon shit. Usually I can look with the
take
tattoos.
Pain. I can take pain for 10 miles.
Right.
Oh, I can take pain for 20 miles.
But you're-
Or
but-
I can take pain for 100 miles. And then when someone goes, man, I have a hard time running a mile.
Bitch.
Please.
I get it.
I mean, my crowd is
It's all about the internal compass,
Right.
not the external of what people are viewing. Right?
Right.
Every moment.
But
right?
my compass doesn't align with theirs is all I'm saying.
No one's does.
I know.
But that's what I was talking about, those universal truths. Right? Just to bring it back, that those moments that where you're like, oh, everybody has to be relentless pursuing something, even though they fail. Like, this is maybe what faith is really more about in the Judeo-Christian beliefs than anything about actually believing in the God. The belief that the truths that the God gave you is what's going to get you through. These are my morals. These are the truths. That's so important. Mm-hmm. I mean, yes, believing in God. Very important. But the boil down of it, that's what's really faith. I believe in this internal compass. I believe that I'm going to succeed. I believe that I can take this pain that we call life, day in, day out. I'm going to put my feet on the ground, and I'm going to go one step in front of the other, and I'm going to achieve, and no one can stop me. Get in my way. I dare you. The blood's going to be ugly.
I just want to point out earlier, because there's probably a lot of people assuming, but no, I never was on steroids.
You was taking stuff off the GNC. Hold on. Was you taking things off the GNC counter in cabinets and buying them? You are.
No, listen.
You just
Okay. No. Hey, there was one cycle where I took some shit, and I'll admit it. It was pro hormone, so basically steroids.
Yeah.
Basically.
At least testosterone.
Right. But I took it, and then my dick died. I mean, it did. My dick died. Like, it just got blown up by a fucking IED. So I was just like, okay, fuck. So I stopped taking that shit.
I was on board. I was like, man, Brock's on a great rant. I was like, this would be our closing note right here.
No, dude,
Now
because
we
I
gotta
need
close the
to
note on
reiterate
this.
it. But like, because I'm
No,
tired
you
of
don't.
yeah,
Nobody
dude.
cares.
Yeah. Well, I don't like it when if someone comes up and like, you know, steroids. There's no way you did 100 pounds in 3
But
years.
you know you didn't, so why did you care?
Because I don't like it.
Doesn't
Because
matter.
that was the pinnacle of why I did it was because I'm gonna do this shit without that.
Yeah, but still, like, you know you did it without that, so why are you worried?
Because I don't like people. I don't know. I just don't
People
like
are
that
always
thing.
gonna think. You know,
Okay. You're also talking about bodybuilding, where the whole thing is about what other people think.
Yeah, that is a really narcissistic thing.
Yeah, the whole thing.
Okay, well, let's break it down this simple. You never thought about failure, right? No. Did you ever think about what other people thought?
Semi, yes.
I mean, we all do things.
But not a lot, right?
Well, it's tattooing, so of course.
Your immediate family, yes.
Yeah.
The people that rely on you, yes.
Yes. Outside of that, no. I didn't care.
Yeah. See, what I'm trying to tell you, you got to be able to turn down that volume of who cares what they think.
Well, I don't care
Everybody's
anymore.
going to have an opinion.
Yeah.
You're not going to like all
There's
that.
somebody that probably doesn't like your artwork.
Sure.
I mean, we've already
sure.
had people talk shit about this podcast.
Should have seen the comments after my last fight.
care.
We don't care. I don't care either.
It's guerrilla
Especially-
banter.
yeah.
The whole idea is like, 3 monkeys fucking a coconut here, all right?
But intelligent.
Am I the coconut? I don't like to be the coconut.
I don't want to be the coconut. Look, you're one of two things in life. You're either the monkey or you're the monkey. You're the coconut. You fuck out of me, okay? No, but I mean, we're all stumbling through this, right? It's not like you're born and someone goes, "Oh, here's the manual for existence. Good luck."
Savangard tried.
Kekengard tried, Carl Jung tried, Jordan Peterson's trying. They're all trying, but Marcus Aurelius tried, Plato tried, Aristotle tried.
Fucking Western shit.
Well, I mean, even in the Eastern side, it still comes down to
The storyline still
your
pisses me
happiness.
off. Anyways,
Now, let's talk about passion. Do you ever not like your job?
No.
Never.
But are you always passionate about
No.
it?
No.
Expound, please.
I'm passionate when I'm passionate about my job when I'm given an idea and they say run with it. They say this is my idea, but now it's your idea. Don't conform to anything that you've seen before. Just take it and run with it. That's what drives me. If I had to do the same tattoo every day, all day, that gets old.
And you see artists that are almost trapped in a style,
Mhm.
right?
For sure.
They become famous even.
Yeah.
But they only do these certain kinds and certain types.
Right. I don't like that.
Yeah.
At all. Certain people do it, and there's certain markets that it works for. If you're in a bigger city and you specialize in traditional tattooing or photorealism, you can do that. There's nothing. It's not exciting doing the same thing every day.
One of the reasons why you enjoy hunting, probably.
Mm-hmm.
It's a slightly different adventure.
Mhm.
You just know the boundaries.
Different conditions, different everything.
Yeah. The real world. You enjoy the real world a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And you enjoy the adventure a lot.
Yep.
Now, passion, right? It's such a strong word, but I think it's so misunderstood, right? But let's call it excitement in some ways. The excitement about the project, the excitement about why you're getting it going. Now, on the days that it's not there, how do you get yourself through it? Whenever they go, this is the 300,000th pin on this Pinterest tattoo, and this is the one I want. And this is what you're going to give me, Joey, because I'm giving you money. And I'm the customer, and I'm right.
I think about the people that depend on me, and whether I'm excited about it or not. I know it's got to be done. That's really my motivation. My wife and my kids.
In a word, manhood,
Yes.
the provider.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whether you like it or not, it's got to be done.
That's some deep caveman shit, though.
That is that's what my wife called me. She's like, "You're a caveman."
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with caveman. I mean, there's a reason why the caveman existed.
Yeah.
I still think we're actually the caveman. We just put on suits and like to think we're sophisticated. I mean, so many things are, social dominance hierarchies of just two chimps yelling at each other. They're just trying to do it in subverted ways.
Yeah.
No, y'all probably just need to go out back and fight it out, and that'd be a lot quicker.
Yeah, it'll be done with it. It'll be over.
Yeah. I mean, I think, you look at people in pain, and it's because they never learned how to express themselves, you know, and they never learned how to take life and just learn that passion comes in waves, happiness comes in waves. What I'm doing is I'm riding out this existence until the next moment of happiness, because I know how to get there. I know that this is what I do that gives me the most happiness, right? Because you're not going to wake up every day and be happy. Find your passion and you'll never work a day in your life. Bull. It's bull. You'll work days of your life. You'll just work less days.
Let's be real. Diaz put that pretty perfectly in a short sentence.
Who?
Diaz.
Joey.
Oh, Joey Diaz. I
was meaning Nate or Nick.
Oh.
You gotta train it until you fucking hate it or some shit.
I don't know. I mean.
What was it? You should know it.
I know what you're talking about.
You used to scream that shit all the time.
That's kind of different. It's kind of a different.
Yeah, I mean.
It's a different thing, but he's talking about success, but it can be used in this, is all I'm saying.
I'm more into that whole taking revenge on life thing that I was talking about the other day in the chat. You got to get so angry at life that you're taking revenge on it. Like, I'm going to be successful. I'm going to enjoy what I do. Yeah, I'm going to fail. Yeah, I'm going to do some dumb things along the way. Yeah, I might even go to prison. But you found life.
Yeah, you got to use it.
And no one could have given you that path, especially in high school. No one would have been like, look, Joe, here's what you got to do.
Gotta go to jail.
You got to
I don't think anybody was saying
make
that.
some really fucking dumb decisions.
Looking back, I mean, I was set up to be a tattoo artist, like
Yeah.
how everything played out.
Well, you can only connect the dots looking back.
Yeah.
You can't connect them
Yeah,
looking
exactly.
Yeah.
And that's just it, right? Don't be scared of the future, because either A, if you're a Christian man, you believe that someone's looking out for you, and if you don't believe that, just to make sure that it's a universal truth, keep going forward anyway, because the only way to find happiness is forward.
Other
It's
religions
not sitting down.
exist.
No.
Yes.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
No. Monotheistic religions, well, they're all the same God. Okay? Just because you wrap it up in different practices. Now, the polytheistic ones are all the same themes.
I don't care.
They're all the same gods that do the same things.
Don't count
so
me
that
out.
should give you a moment of pause. If there's always a God of love and war,
Don't you dare count me out.
how funny that it always tends to be the same God. You know, water is always chaos. Okay? These things are universally true because the lesson is universal. And I give credit to Joseph Campbell for that one. I know. He brought that out in me. I wasn't going to do it. That was his fault.
You wanted it. You wanted him to bring it out of you.
Not really.
No. Okay.
No. It's not.
Joe, yeah.
He did.
Yeah. There's only one thing that monkeys love more than coconuts, and that's Brock loving a good rant.
I was born to rant, I think.
It's natural. Seems natural to you.
Yeah. And what's worse is all I did was sharpen the stick.
Tears
Like,
not
I
the
was
God
given
of
a
love.
stick and I was like, I like this stick.
I will say that tears not the God of love.
We're going to talk about that one offline.
Okay.
Because you also have a God of mischief, so it changes things.
We're not talking about him. We don't like him.
But he plays into the equation.
Yeah.
Yes, I think it's been
Hey,
roughly 2
listen,
hours.
It's not you.
It's been roughly 2 hours.
Do you think you're done? Does he look done?
Guys.
Guys.
I'm just a coconut here.
Guys.
I'm not just a coconut here. So, what would you say to young people who have a passion but don't know where to go?
Now you're giving them responsibility.
What do I say to a young person that has a passion that doesn't know what to do with it?
You could say the gayest quote of all time.
Which is?
If you aim for the moon.
Oh, don't. Please.
Work
You could
your ass
say
off, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, if you have a passion and you know it can be profitable, and you can live a happier life because of it, pursue it. And if you don't, you're an idiot. You know, why would you work a 9-to-5 job that you don't care about? I just can't see that happening. I couldn't live my life going to a job or doing something that I was not happy every day.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it.
You sleep better at night.
I sleep like a rock. I close my eyes, I wake up, I'm cool, I'm ready.
Better than the anger that you did as a young man.
Sure.
Angry.
Mad.
Yeah.
Very mad.
And no one was ever else right?
No.
Yeah. I think that's true for a lot of people. They just don't know it. It's weird, like somewhere between, and it's funny that 23 came up, but like that 23, the average is 25 when the prefrontal cortex finally grows up and matures. But it's weird, somewhere around there you look back and you go, God, I'm an idiot.
I was a freaking dumbass.
I was a moron. It's
Yeah.
weird how it's always past tense, but there is like this moment where you're like, who was that guy?
Yeah.
So you don't always know where your passion's going to lead you, but find your passions.
Sure.
Continue honing them, and what their purpose will be will eventually show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I can agree with that. Dissenting? Any dissenting ideas?
I think that's solid.
You think it's solid? What about you, Matt? Do you dissent in any way?
I'm just ready for this tier discussion.
Okay. Well, then we'll get off here so that can happen. But I appreciate you coming on, man.
Thanks for having me. I
Yeah.
really had a good time.
It was probably a little different than what you expected, maybe, but
I had no idea what to expect.
yeah.
That is awesome.
I really had no clue, and this is the first podcast I've ever done. So
Yeah, and we appreciate it.
thanks, man.
Seriously. And we'll have to get you back on.
Some quick plugs real quick.
Yeah.
University Inc., Ruston, Louisiana. They
Yeah.
got a phone number and address. And
318-255-6482, and we're located at 209 West Mississippi Avenue in downtown Ruston.
Mm-hmm.
And Joey's not going to drag anybody through the mud, but I'll go ahead and tell you everyone else around here is shit. And if you want work done in Louisiana,
There's some good
University
guys.
Inc.
There's some good guys.
Thank
There's
you.
good guys.
There's
But
good
I
people.
haven't been to anyone else, so I don't know that.
Right.
See, so you're just you
I'm
are the
just
man on the soapbox
diehard.
saying the end is near,
Just-
and everyone else is like, it's birds chirping.
Just die on loyalty.
Well, see, that's a good thing about my customers. I don't have to say anything.
That's
They'll
right.
defend me. You know.
To the death.
Yeah, till death.
I'm ready to die for my
Yeah,
life.
I'll take a bullet. for that
What do you mean you went to Cold Desert?
Why you gotta say that?
It's just one of them, and there's like 3 of them, so that's why I chose that one. I chose the
I don't have a
branch.
problem with those guys.
I don't
Facebook,
either.
Instagram.
Instagram, Joey Bagwell Tattoo, and Facebook, you can either get on University Inc. page, University Inc. Tattoo business page, or look me up on my personal page, Joey Bagwell.
There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, another episode down. Great guest, great man. Till next time, this is Brock signing off. Dylan,
See you guys later.
Matt,
Next episode.
say bye to the world, Joey.
See you.
Bye.
That was fun.
Thank you.
That was fun, man. I just want to sound like it.
I don't have to listen